In the meantime, we're going to get the show started, and we're going to get it started right with their rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, my friends, Toast and Jam.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the SPS Virtual Trade Show event. I'm CS Murison, one of your hosts for today's show. Now, I told you I was going to explain how to increase your chances on winning some of the $20,000 worth of prizes that we're giving away, so I'm going to do that real quick. Every booth you visit today is going to be giving away one prize worth at least $200 to $500. The way you become eligible for those prizes is just by visiting the booth. Every booth that you spend 5 minutes in at least, you're eligible for that prize. Now you can increase your chances by spending $100 on that manufacturer. For every $100 you spend with that manufacturer, you get an extra ticket entry to win that prize. Now we have our golden ticket prize of a Futura Auto. That's worth $3,800. It's from our friends at Ilco. The way you become eligible for that prize, simply by being here. Everybody who attends gets at least one ticket, so thank you very much for being here. You can also increase your chances on that prize by spending $500 on Ilco and advanced diagnostic products. For every $500 that you spend, you get an extra entry for that ticket. Also, you get an extra entry for that prize for every $500 you spend on any SPS brand. So H.E. Mitchell, McDonald Dash, H.O. Flake, International Key Supply. For every $500 you spend between September 21st and October 2nd, you get an extra entry for the Futura Auto. Our platinum prize, of course, is $5,000 of store credit with H.O. Flake or International Key Supply. The only way you can become eligible for that prize is to visit 20 booths for 5 minutes each. So visiting booths is easy. If you go to the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see the little expo box. If you click in the expo box, not now, let me finish talking, but if you click in the expo box later, it'll take you to the show floor. You click in any box that you want. That's a booth. Stay there for 5 minutes. We can count, so don't cheat. Stay there for 5 minutes, do that 20 times, and you become eligible for the $5,000 prize. Just to be clear, though, we're not doing prizes today. We're going to do a live stream show on October 9th to give away all the prizes. The reason we did that is because we want you guys to be able to enjoy today's first of its kind event. I think it's the first virtual trade show in our industry's history. We wanted you guys to sit down and be able to enjoy it and not have to worry about getting prizes in online or getting orders in online. So you have through October 2nd to get all your orders in to become eligible for prizes. We emailed you guys a sheet with all the specials that we're offering, but if you need a refresher or you just want to talk to one of your sales reps, click on the sessions tab on the left-hand side of your page and visit your favorite manufacturer and talk to the rep of your choice. Now, don't worry if that's a lot of information. We're going to repeat this quite a few times throughout the show. I'm just one of your hosts for today's event. We're going to be going all around the country. We're going to start off in New York at the International Key Supply Warehouse with Mr. Sean McAuliffe. Sean, how are you?
I'm doing great, CS. How are you today?
I'm loving it. For those people who don't know, give us a little bit of intro about yourself. Who are you?
So my name's Sean McAuliffe. I started International Key Supply back in 2012. Kind of grew it from my apartment to what we have now. And then back in November, we merged with HL Flake, and now we've got this great Security Pro Supply brand that we're part of.
Awesome. Awesome. How's the weather there in New York today?
The weather's pretty good. I'm really excited for this show. A lot of nervous energy, and in true trade show fashion, already had a snafu this morning. You wouldn't think it'd be possible for virtual trade show, but I actually got locked out of the building this morning trying to get set up. Luckily, I know a few guys though, and they got me in
I was
quickly.
going to say, if only we knew a guy that can get us in the building.
Yeah. So
All
even
right,
at
well,
virtual
that's
trade
Sean.
shows, you still run into those bugs.
Hey, I live in Bend, Oregon. If you guys haven't heard of it, don't worry about it. Nobody else has either, and that's how we like it. It's beautiful here. We had no snafu, so somebody's got to have a problem. So we have
Right.
Sean in New York. We also have a crew in Houston at our HL Flake warehouse. How's everybody doing out there?
Good morning.
We're doing great.
Good.
We're doing great.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you too. So starting with Mark. Mark, why don't you introduce yourself and work your way down the table?
Actually, I'll kick it off, CS. My name is Travis Howell, and I am the marketing manager for Security Pro Supply. And I just want to thank everybody for being here today. This project has been really fun to put together for our whole team. And so we just hope that you guys get something enjoyable out of this, and that you can have good education, and you connect with the reps and connect with other locksmiths. And again, we just want to thank you for being here. And with that, I am going to pass it off to Mark.
Thanks, Travis. Hi, I'm Mark Knight. I'm the CEO of the SPS family of businesses. We're thrilled that you're here, and thank you for spending part of your day with us. We think you're going to have a great time, as are we. Leslie?
Hi, I'm Leslie Moore. I'm with Security Pro Supply, and we're so excited you're here with us. And we've been looking forward to this and ready to kick it off.
Hi, I'm Brenton Webb. I'm the access control specialist here at Security Pro Supply. I've been in the industry for about 14 years. I've been at Flake for 1.5 years. And prior to that, I was an integrator for about 14 years.
My name's Alex Martinez. I'm the sales manager for HL Flake and McDonald Dash. Been with the company for 17 years, almost half of my life, and yeah, just getting ready to kick this off.
All right.
All right.
That's,
We're going to get started with our first segment. I think, Mark, that's you.
that is. Thanks, CS. And good morning, everyone. We're going to be joined by Jeff Flynn. Jeff is the Vice President of Wholesale for Allegion.
You guys will be up next.
Hey, good morning, Mark. How are you?
Good. Good morning, Jeff. We're thrilled to have you. Allegion is our platinum sponsor of this event. As CS said, or Travis, this is really the first of its kind event in our industry, and we're thrilled to have a strategic partner such as yourself participating. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and the Allegion team?
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. So Jeff Flynn with Allegion. I've been in the industry for 28 years with this same company, located out of Carmel, Indiana, which is where our headquarters are. A little bit of background is I actually am vice president of wholesale, so I'm in charge of all the wholesale business for Americas. Work very closely with our leadership team here in Carmel. And a little bit of history of Allegion is, we were part of the Ingersoll Rand umbrella back all the way until 2013. And in 2013, the security technology sector actually spun away, and we created our own business called Allegion, but it still has all the same brands that everybody's very familiar with: the Von Duprin, the LCN, Schlage, Glenn Johnson, Ives, Steelcraft, Hollow Metal. And when we spun away, what it allowed us to do is actually invest in a lot more of our product portfolio. And we've made some changes in our sales structures to better service the markets. You've seen us kind of expand out to product lines, Dexter, Locknetics. We've been very strong in the project world, but one of the things we're really focused on now is obviously serving our wholesale channel, who serves a lot of our indirect customers, locksmiths, integrators, single family dealers. So we've invested a lot of money and resources toward really try to entrench our product into those markets. And with SPS, We've done a very good job, and it's been a great partnership.
Thanks for that, Jeff. And we're really looking forward to today. Allegion's got 4 booths as part of the program. So 10% of the booths are Allegion booths. You want to tell us a little bit about the booths that you've got today?
Yeah, absolutely. We're extremely excited to be a part of this, and really appreciate the involvement. I'm already blown away by the professionalism of this whole event. So kudos to this whole team. I know the amount of work that's been put into getting this thing out and successful. So as you said, we do have 4 booths, and I'm going to tell you what, we've got our A team on point today. First booth that you're going to see is we're talking about our electronic portfolio, our Engage products, seamless access. You're going to hear that a lot of discussion around our group. Our 2 individuals running that booth is Chris Stoll and Alan Stelly out of Texas. Strong in electronic platforms. So you're gonna hear and see what we do there, as well as they're gonna have live demos in that booth. So you're gonna be able to see how the product actually works in the software as well. The second booth we have is at Healthy Environments Touchless Access Solutions. As we all know, that's a very big part of what we're in this new norm that we're living in today. Lloyd Rayforth, Greg Dennis out of Texas are also going to be leading that room. You're going to see a lot of our solutions that we've actually created, and you're going to see some of the solutions we're actually doing in Carmel, Indiana at our headquarters building. And that means basically walking into the building without touching any part of any door. Every exterior door has an automatic operator, has an access control, a touchless actuator with it. So you can literally walk all the way from the parking lot into your office without touching any of the doors. You're going to see Lloyd demo that, and it's going to be, you're going to really enjoy some of what that is that we're offering. Another room we have is our key systems room, Understanding Schlage Key Systems. We're fortunate to have Brandon Douglas run that. He's our lead trainer for our key system for Allegion. He's going to go at a very high level because we've got the most versatile key system in the market. We could probably talk key systems for 3 days, but it's going to be a high level. And I'm telling you what, Brandon teaches it in a manner that's very consumable, and you're really going to enjoy hearing him talk about our key systems. And finally, I like to really kind of a big shout out for this because I'm really fortunate once I saw Lori Green was going to be part of the event. Lori is, I would say, the leading code specialist expert in the country. She's the author and creator of iDig Hardware. The amount of hits that she gets internationally is unbelievable. So we really have the audience and everybody has a really rare opportunity to kind of hear Lori talk about the codes. I know it's relevant to every one of us, and we have got the right individual. So as I said, Mark, we've got our A team going today, and we're very excited, very appreciative that we're a part of this event.
That's great. And, not only do you have the 4 booths, but we're going to be inviting Allegion back to the main stage 2 more times before the end of the day. I know Lloyd's going to be speaking about some Bluetooth solutions. And then I think near the end of the day, he's going to talk about healthy hardware. So we're excited to have all those conversations. And I would encourage everybody out there to make sure you take the time to get to all the Allegion booths. In fact, get to all the booths. I know we're challenging you to get to 20, but we'd love to see everyone get to all 40 booths. But again, Jeff, thanks for the sponsorship and the strategic partnership that we have. We appreciate Allegion's support, and it's a terrific relationship.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you as well. Really looking forward to this event.
Thanks, Jeff. And now I'm going to bring back Leslie and Brent, and they're going to be walking us through the main stage next section, which is really all about touchless. So, Leslie, Brent?
Thank you, Mark. Yes, we're going to actually bring in Neil Katz with ZK Teco USA, and he's going to talk about some really unique products that they have. So we're excited to get Neil out here. Hey, Neil.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm very excited to be here. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for joining us. So
thank you.
We are talking about touchless, and I know ZK has a new exciting product. Can you tell us a little bit about SpeedFace? I think it's a temperature reader and mass detection all in one.
Yeah. So what we've done is we've taken our flagship product, which is a device for facial recognition and low light identification. And we've added a thermal camera to the top of it, which enables us to do body temperature and mass detection very rapidly, very accurately, and it can be set up in a standalone environment where somebody just walks up to it, whether they're enrolled or they are simply a unknown user. So maybe it's a restaurant and it's a guest in the restaurant, or whatever the case may be, can utilize the device, and management can know who, if they have an elevated fever or body temperature.
Right, because we know everywhere we're going now, we're getting our temperature taken, whether it's
Right.
school, a restaurant, a doc, so that's great. I mean, lots of applications for that. And I know you guys have a new version of it. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So we just introduced the SpeedFace with the T model, which is a SF1008 T Plus, which is an actual thermal camera versus the thermal pile camera. And there's that's a picture of it right there you're looking at.
Okay.
And this device is extremely fast. You can walk up to it in a matter of 2 seconds. It'll take your body temperature, know if you have a mask on. If it's hooked up to a door, it'll open the door immediately, or it could set off a red or green light accordingly. We have software to maintain the records that can be stored or not, depending on the company's choice, and lots of really great, exciting features like that.
Is there a difference between the new one and the old one, Neil?
Well, yeah. So I think we have a graphic here. There's a difference between the SF1008 Plus, which is on your right, I believe, and the T Plus on the left. The T Plus actually does not require any adjustments. It's automatic in its calibration. You can be 2.5 feet away, and it's extraordinarily fast. It's reading over 10,000 points on the forehead, whereas the SF1008 Plus, which is a phenomenal product, is reading about 1,000 points. So they're both great products. They both have their place. When you're ready and you've got a customer interested, just give us a call at ZK or talk to Brent, and we'll get you all the details you need. These are easy to set up, easy to sell, and easy to install.
Great. Yeah, I know Brent's actually installed one for us here at HL Flake, and it was. You want to talk about a little about that?
Right. We installed it in our will call area, and the employees used it to. They still use it to check their temperature when coming into work, and it'll verify what temperature the customer or our employees are at, so they can work for the day.
So what other features does it have? So you don't have to be registered. It can be anonymous guests coming in.
Correct.
But it can also, and it's standalone, or it can tie in with the access control system. Is that? That's
right. Yeah, we're the manufacturer of the device. So we actually have all of those features for access control built into it. It's actually a panel in itself. So if you're just controlling one door, it does everything. It has the ability to control access with our software. You can control times of individual access. We literally could let someone who, as you said, is anonymous access a door if the only criterion are no elevated body temperature. So it's a really a unique and awesome product.
Right.
So
We're excited.
This device by itself with the lock, and that's all you would need to get started.
That's right.
Right.
Okay. And these are ready to go. They're ready to ship now?
You've got them in stock right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have the new one. We've got the other one on order. So it'll be here soon, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, great.
Any other products?
Well, yeah. So I'd like to touch on a product you guys have been selling for a while now, which is our Atlas access control solution. It is a phenomenally fast and easy product to use. Installers say they typically save about 30% of their installation time installing this product. We are also very proud that individuals who really have no access control experience are able to install this. Really, the hardest thing to install with this product becomes your actual cutting out of the strike, which your dealers do all day long. So it's a very simple solution, very low cost. We have a Bluetooth option with it, so you can use it from your phone, activate a door just by touching a little button on your phone when you walk up. So very cost effective, touchless, easy to use, and very well received by the market.
Right. I love the fact that there's, one kit, two kit, four kits, all different options for the customer. So if you
Absolutely.
don't want the kit, you can just get the panel. So, so that has been great. And I know you'll be doing more demos in the booth today, so everyone can check those out and see how easy it is.
Yeah, right. We'll be showing everything from our turnstiles to our metal detectors and everything that we offer. Just know that we make all those available through the SPS platform, and they're all very easy and accessible.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you, Neil.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
We appreciate the information. Please go visit Neil at the booth, and we'll get on to the next guest.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay. And we've got Darren Blankenship with Dormicaba coming up next.
Good morning.
Hey, Darren.
Morning,
Good
Darren.
morning. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So we've been talking about touchless, and we just kind of want to hear how your products provide a secure and healthy environment for everybody. There's new technology, and it's going from touch to touchless. So how does Dormicaba fit in, and how can they help customers?
Well, first of all, we don't need to really talk about what's going on in the world, the new reality. However, in the last 5 months, Dormicaba portfolio of companies is really, our mission has changed from really creating that safe and secure environment to a safe, secure, and healthy environment, going in and coming out of the pandemic and going into the new reality. So our booth is really going to be coming to you from our new Customer Connect studio that we recently built over the last 3 months, and it's a full studio that in our our Americas headquarters in Indianapolis, and take you through the touch to touchless, how to prioritize what should go touchless, and what other means can we do or can we use to protect the occupants and guests in that facility, whether that's enhanced cleaning, changing of habits, or antimicrobial options.
Right. I mean, there's so many important things we have to think about and try to mitigate risks with COVID and all the viruses. So I know you guys do kits, you do a la carte, something as simple as just adding an electric strike to help this touchless environment. Can you talk a little bit about those products? And
yeah, we're kind of taking it to, it's more than one product. We're looking at it as a solution. We're looking at it as a solution to solve the opportunities and problems of the customer. The opportunity is to get back to work and open their facilities to their customers and create new revenue and get out of the slowed economy as quickly as possible. So what we've done is at the onset of the pandemic, we put a small hit team together within our group, took the existing technologies and new technologies and emerging technologies that are available to us, and put it together as opposed to products into solution sets. So we do have some kits available. The first one is our washroom solution, which is for a non-latching washroom, which even before the pandemic had a significant ick factor associated with it.
Right.
So we have that kit, and then we have all the peripherals you need, either to add to the kit or to buy with one of our operators our our portfolio of touchless actuators and readers to create a solution for just about any application. We broke it down into the 7 applications, everything from a non-latching washroom to the double doors, exterior, interior, and we have got the products, the solutions, really the recipe book, including the riser diagrams to create anything you need in a facility to take it from touch to touchless.
Right, so you have all of the parts and pieces to turn the door into a touchless solution or to change it to a touchless solution.
That's correct. And really what differentiates us is we are looking at it as a solution. We are offering the consulting plus, the recipe book for any of the end users and our channel partners to convert from a touch situation to a touch-free situation. And we've also got online and digital help at www.touchfreeaccess.com, which is again shows the recipe book, and also it has an access where we will come out and actually work with you for free to help identify which of your openings should be looked at as a transformation to a touchless, and really what can be actually mitigated, mitigate the health issues by other means of changes, again, whether it's antimicrobial or distancing or enhanced cleaning.
If you want to
Okay.
let him know that.
Okay. Okay, and your booth is a first class, one of a kind. I've seen some previews, so we're excited to see that. And I know you also have the Simplex booth as well, so everybody needs to visit both of those.
Please.
And see what's going on. So they'll be doing some live demos, and do you want to talk a little bit more about the booth and what you guys will be showing?
On the Simplex booth or both booths?
Both.
Both booths.
Yeah, well, both booths are going to be, live demos. They're going to be talking about, the Simplex platform is probably one of the oldest platforms in the industry and the most durable and long lasting. So we're going to be reviewing that platform from our studios in Arizona, our newest facility in the United States, which is our Mesker facility, which is producing not only hollow metal frames, our quick frames and doors, but is also a quick ship facility for us for the West Coast. So, and coincidentally, we also keep some of the Simplex inventory in that facility. In our Indiana facility, again, you're going to be seeing full live mock-ups of full doors, 3070 doors with the touchless solutions added to it. And Eddie Sims, who's been in this industry for over 25 years in various hardware and integration and automatic door positions in both sales and leadership and operations, is the perfect moderator for showing the solutions and answering your questions about the transformation. He's gonna take it right down to the simple equation of add an operator, add some a couple peripherals, and by the way, we've got it down to about 12 different peripherals that you're going to add 1 or 2 of out of a pool of 12 peripherals, an operator, and 110 volts. You've got a touch-free operator or a touch-free opening.
Yeah, well, that's great. We can't wait to hear about those. And I mean, I think we're about wrapping it up here, but we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to go to your booth. And we really appreciate you, Darren, being with us today and taking time out of your day. We're so excited, this one-of-a-kind event. So we're kicking it off for our industry, and we can't thank you enough.
Thanks for letting us share. Please visit our booth, and everybody out there, please stay safe. And we can't wait to work with you on your facilities and in your businesses to make it a secure, safe, healthy, and productive environment out there.
And will you have any videos or YouTube, anything online where we can view those sites
Yes,
that we're working on?
We actually have, we have a microsite that we just developed and launched at www.touchfreeaccess.com. We also have a landing page on dormakava.com, which talks about touchless solutions and has links to videos and other digital feeds that'll help you and your customers work with their customers and get the right solutions out there. It's all about making it a secure and safe, healthy environment so we can get back to work and get back to our lives.
Right.
Couldn't agree enough. Thank you so much, Darren.
And then one last thing is we are running online classes, and Eddie will talk about how to sign up for those. We're running 1-hour classes, probably 12 to 14 of them a month over the next couple months, and we will get into deep depth of how to convert to a touchless situation from our new studios.
Okay, wonderful. Great resources. Well, thank you so much, Darren, for being with us today, and we will come visit you in your booth soon.
Thank you. Be safe.
Okay, thanks. Okay, guys, so up next we have Jay Weidkes with ASSA ABLOY. Hi, Jay.
Hey, how's
Thanks
it going,
for joining
Jay?
us.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good. How are you doing?
Very good.
So as today we're going over touchless solutions and low touch solutions. Can you kind of tell us the difference between those two?
So we classify a touchless solution as typically used with an automatic door operator that's going to cycle the door open and closed when you provide some type of knowing activation, like the depression of a button on the wall, or a wave switch, like a near field communication disturbance. When you wave your hand in front of the plate, you then activate the door. So in effect, no touch whatsoever. In a low touch solution, an example would be a method of using your arm, your elbow, or your foot to actually grab a hold of the door and pull the door open. Low touch, but not quite no touch, just not necessarily using your hand or your fingertips.
Right. Yeah. Because those are options as well, right? We can wave, we can do the elbow. So when installers are going out there talking to their customers and getting solutions, they need to have all the options for them. So so I know you guys have some kits and auto operators from Norton. So can you talk a little bit about how Norton's auto operators are helping reduce the spread in the community, right? I mean, that's what we need.
Absolutely.
We all need help right now there.
I have certainly love to talk about it. I have a couple of graphics. I'm not sure if we're able to pull them up.
Sure. I think we have a couple slides here.
Oh, perfect. Yes. So here on the screen is an offering from Norton. Everything you see here is designed, engineered, machined, assembled, test pack, shipped, and even technically supported from Monroe, North Carolina. And we offer this variety. This would fall into our no touch or touchless. Various price points. As I move from the right hand side to the left hand side, the pricing tends to increase. And also one of the reasons for that are because of the features that I offer. As I move along the continuum left to right, the number of features that I offer with the operators increase. And then as you move up the continuum, the number of cycles that the unit was designed for increases. So something that's used in a restaurant, retail, convenience, or banking environment would be different than what we would use in a hospital, healthcare, school, or university environment. So we can kind of target the operator for the customer's needs. On the second slide, you can use any one of those operators in the center wheel. But what we wanted to just display here was that concept of using a low energy automatic operator to increase social distancing or reducing touch points. And there are 6 that are broken down. 3 of them social distancing, which are the ability for the operator to be used by a single person installation, in a feature called executive mode, where depressing a button will hold the door open, leave the door in the open position. If you picture an office environment where the person using the office can open and close the door remotely, and even lock the door, by the way, if they wanted, using a handheld remote. And then the infinite hold open feature, where I can hold the door open for an indefinite time frame, as I've been going to the doctor's office and the dentist's office here in my area, I noticed that they've been holding those doors open using some type of kick or stop or even a wooden wedge. But of course, in that application, those would not be fire rated. So using an operator, we could actually have a fire rated opening because we can release and close the door. And then there's, if we go to the next slide, I could do a little more breakdown. So the one person installation we think is important because as the various communities we are finding, as they're opening up from this COVID issue, they're trying to reduce the number of people that are working in close proximity to one another. So a couple of ways of doing that. One is using the modular design, as you see on the slide in the upper left-hand corner. We have the technician mount a plate and then mount the individual components to that plate. The benefit here is these operators can often be heavy and also long. Sometimes these are used on double doors. So by using it modularly and having the technician install one piece at a time, we can do it with one technician. The second thing is oftentimes there's a number of different tradespeople that are installing these. You may have a carpenter mount the unit. You may have a low voltage licensed technician wire the buttons, and then you may have an E2 electrical tradesperson wire it up. So you may have 3. So we've come up with some designs. One of the ones that I'll show the group here in a moment is actually runs off of 24 volts and it could plug into any wall outlet. So all examples of ways one person installation is beneficial for social distancing. The next slide, I just wanted to touch on a feature on some of our operators, not all of them, but relatively new to the market, where you can program these operators using any smart device. And a smart device could be a phone, a pad, a notebook. And in this case, no app is required. But imagine being able to program an operator without even having to remove the cover of that operator. And you could do it from, say, 6, 8, 10, or 12 feet away from the operator. And you could program multiple operators using the same device. So just a reducing of touch points. And then next is certainly worth mentioning. The next slide shows a wave to open switch. And this is what we had started this conversation with, where there is a near field communication disturbance in front of the plate. By waving your hand in front of this plate, you actually disturb a field which trips a contact, which then tells the operator to open. But the additional benefit of the wave to open is that you also get an audible and a visual indication. So in the center of the switch is a red-green disc. The green disc draws your eye to the product and it says wave to open. So it calls your attention to the fact that you don't have to touch the door handle. And then when you place your hand in front of that plate, the disc changes red and you provide an audible beep and then the door opens. So a visual audible indication. And these things mount flush to the wall. So it's a very, very nice ADA compliant solution. The next, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jay, I have a question.
Yes.
With the one person install,
yes.
Is that a big deal to be able to install it with one person compared to our other operators that are out on the market?
We think so, and here's why. One, the operator that's shown on the slide that's present now, that 6,000 double door, that is a product that can be up to 8 feet long. And so that would be 2 technicians to go to the job on what would be, potentially a 3-hour installation times 2. So by installing it modularly, you can actually cut that in half and have that reduced number of people saving money for not only the end user but also for the installation company. And then of course the ability to plug these things into a wall outlet as opposed to have a hard pipe may eliminate the national average, as we understand it, for an electrician to come to the site and make a connection is around $300 to $350. So by plugging into an ordinary wall outlet, we could reduce that cost too. So I do think that there's some value.
Right. I've taken off the cover for an automatic operator, and on the double door operator, it took two people almost to get just the cover off.
Yeah.
Some scenarios.
Correct.
Yes. We actually have the ADA Easy installed here at the office.
Right. On our.
Brent helped with that, or with the touchless.
Yes, we put a ADA Easy on our main entry door, our most the high traffic door, and we also use the wave plate as well. So I have it hardwired, where it's a 24 volt DC, and we used the regenerative power function for a while, but when I added the button, the wave plate, I figured I'd just power it up.
Yeah. So it's the only commercially available door-mounted 24 volt DC automatic operator on the market. And it again, back to the one-person installation, as you had mentioned, it's very easy to install. It looks somewhat like a closer. It mounts like a closer. It's adjustable like a closer. It's got a relatively long design life, 10 million cycles. Everything comes in a single box, as depicted on the slide that was just placed up on the screen here. All of the mounting hardware for a wood, Howell metal, aluminum door, even a concrete-filled frame, a grout-filled frame. There's Tapcon screws, the door signs, and then depicted here, and also, like as you mentioned, the one in your office is a wave to open. And the unit can work in two modes, as you indicated. One being the ability to have it generate its own power as the door opens and closes, or be connected 24 volts plugged into a wall outlet.
And the wireless aspect of it, is it wireless out of the box, or do we need extra parts and pieces?
Completely wireless out of the box. So the one wire that you have is the plug-in transformer, which is optional. So if you have enough traffic, the way this device works is if 70% of the people using the door are using it manually, that would allow up to 30% of the people using the door to use it automatically. So as an example, say there was an application like a Starbucks where you had hundreds of people using this door. As long as that ratio, 70-30, you would not need to plug it in. If you don't have that ratio, as you mentioned in your office, you could simply plug in using the 24 volt connection kit in the product. But the buttons that are mounted on the wall are wireless up to the operator. So in RF communication to tell the operator to open and close. So a true wire-free door opener.
If we need to have it operate with a strike or a maglock or any type of lock, electronic lock, what would we need to make that happen as well?
So great question. Most of the operators in the lineup have a built-in power supply and a relay, single pole, double throw, that can be used to work with a fail-safe or a fail-secure electric strike. This particular product, because it mounts on the door, we wanted to limit the number of wires that would have to go through the transfer or the electric hinge. So we sell a separate part. We call it the wireless interface module. And that module allows you to connect an access control system, the electric lock, maybe even make a connection to the fire alarm panel. It is a small card. It's 6 inches by 4 inches, and it mounts in the power supply cabinet that you're going to be using to drive the electric strike. So a separate card enables full integration with electric locks, fail-safe or fail-secure, and can work with any ADA Easy that's currently in stock.
Awesome. Well, speaking of in stock, Jay, these things are so simple, easy to install. I mean, these are in high demand. How are you guys readily shipping? What's your lead time?
So thank you for asking that question. So because we design, engineer everything in-house, We've been keeping our lead time for everything that's here at 2 weeks. As you know, our wholesale partners are our valuable partners that enable the customers to get things quickly. But to supply them, we're at that 2-week lead time, and we've basically held that throughout the entire pandemic. We did some early forecasting and noted that the demand made some assumptions that turned out to be true, that the demand would increase significantly. So we had ordered parts in advance for us to be able to supply the individual components for these operators. So great question.
Great to hear. So, yeah, well, we really appreciate you, Jay, being with us today, taking time out of your day. And we hope everybody comes to the ASSA ABLOY booth to learn more about these great touchless products and
operators.
Yeah. And auto operators, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Well, you have a great one, and we'll come see you soon.
Okay. Take care now.
Okay. Thanks,
Jay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. So that's kind of a wrap for now. We've gone over some touchless solutions with Allegion, Dormakaba, ASSA ABLOY, ZK Teco. Brent, what do you think?
I think it went well.
Yeah.
Everybody had a lot to offer. Everybody's offering is unique.
Definitely.
And can be used in our COVID situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. So we're going to...
Go ahead. Make sure you visit everybody's booth.
Definitely. Go to that expo tab and go see each one of the exhibitors. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to see Sean and CS at International Key Supply, and they're going to go over some automotive updates. So thanks so much for being with us, and tune back in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You already know us as
HL Flake in Houston, Texas.
International Key Supply in New York.
McDonald Dash in Memphis, Tennessee.
H.E. Mitchell, Portland.
HL Flake in Jacksonville, Florida.
We are Security Pro Supply.
All of our brand names will continue to actively be used, bringing these great companies together under the SPS parent brand allows us to clearly communicate our unified mission, which is to help security professionals be successful. Combining these businesses, we are better together.
The benefits of HL Flake and International Key Supply merging are many. We're going to have the widest selection of security products in stock, including over 45,000 SKUs in our warehouses and access to millions of items across our manufacturing network. Between all of our branches, we have experts in automotive, commercial, safe, lock picking, and really every aspect of the locksmith trade.
In the coming months, we will be launching a new website. We will be launching a new warehouse management system and unifying the phone systems to answer any security-related questions you may have. Combining these businesses, we are
better together.
Remember this?
The Master Lock model number 15 did not open.
Master Lock padlocks were tough back then. The new Master Lock Magnum is the next generation of tough. Just try and open one. Even after multiple hits with an 11-pound sledgehammer, Magnum still holds on. Chances are you'll give out before it does. Oh, and it still takes a bullet. Master Lock Magnum, what tough is today.
Stop sharing germs at the touch of every door. Retail facilities, including restaurants, banks, and department stores, can easily upgrade swing doors to open with a simple hand motion, using the Norton Low Energy Door Operator and Wave to Open switch. For automated lock control, add electric strikes from HES or Adams Rite. From your main doors to the bathrooms, Norton touchless door opening solutions are ideal for a variety of single and double door openings, from entrance to exit.
Since inventing the first door check over a century ago, LCN has remained an industry leader. With deep roots in the Princeton, Illinois community, home to our plant since 1949, we continue to invest to ensure life safety, quality, and customer satisfaction.
In the last few years here in Princeton, we've invested in the facility with three main goals in mind: ensuring the safety of our employees, ensuring the quality of our products, and providing the reliability in our process to meet the demands of the customer.
We're continually investing and continually adding to our tolerances and making sure that we're holding that reliability. We need to hold those tight tolerances. If we don't, you lose the control on that door.
We've also realized the need to invest in our people, and we've done that through apprenticeship programs.
We've invested in these programs in order to develop people. The people put the quality into the product.
We've built a strong sense of community and even have multiple generations of family members working side by side.
What I like most about working here is spending time with my uncle or my dad, and knowing that my grandpa used to work here too.
It is a great place to work. I've been in LCN for over 50 years, and it's fed my family.
It is like an extended family, because the rest of the people we work with are basically family. I've been at weddings, I've seen grandchildren.
LCN was founded on the belief that our processes, people, and products are what sets us apart.
It's sourcing the right suppliers, our machining capabilities in-house, the knowledge and experience within our assembly area and building our closers, and then our fill test and regulate technologies.
You can feel confident knowing that every step in our process plays a role to ensure you receive a reliable product and predictable performance. And as an Allegion brand, we have people in place committed to supporting you from purchase to install through the life of the product.
You already know us as
HL Flake in Houston, Texas.
International Key Supply in New York.
McDonald Dash in Memphis, Tennessee.
H.E. Mitchell, Portland.
HL Flake in Jacksonville, Florida.
We are Security Pro Supply.
All of our brand names will continue to actively be used, bringing these great companies together under the SPS parent brand allows us to clearly communicate our unified mission, which is to help security professionals be successful. Combining these businesses, we are better together.
The benefits of HL Flake and International Key Supply merging are many. We're going to have the widest selection of security products in stock, including over 45,000 SKUs in our warehouses and access to millions of items across our manufacturing network. Between all of our branches, we have experts in automotive, commercial, safe, lock picking, and really every aspect of the locksmith trade.
In the coming months, we will be launching a new website, we will be launching a new warehouse management system, and unifying the phone systems to answer any security-related questions you may have. Combining these businesses, we are
better together.
All right, everyone, welcome back. CS here with a quick prize reminder. Every booth that you visit gives you a chance to win a $200 to $500 prize. All you got to do is spend 5 minutes in a booth. You're eligible for that prize. If you happen to spend an extra $100 in that booth, you're eligible for an extra entry into that prize. For every $100 you spend, you get an extra ticket. Our golden ticket prize is a Futura Auto from our friends at Ilco. That's worth $3,800. Everyone who shows up today gets one free entry for that prize. Every $500 you spend with Advanced Diagnostics and Ilco gives you an extra ticket for that prize. Every $500 you spend with any SPS brand gets you an extra $500 for that prize. Unlimited entries. Our platinum prize is $5,000 in store credit to either HL Flake or International Key Supply. The only way to be eligible for that prize is to spend 5 minutes in 20 different booths. Visiting booths are easy. Just go over here to the left-hand side of your page, click on the Expo box, and then just click in any manufacturer that you see. Spend 5 minutes. We'll be able to clock you. Do that 20 times. You're eligible for a $5,000 prize. Just a reminder, we're going to be doing a prize drawing not today, but on October 9th. It's going to be a live video stream. The reason we're not doing it today is because we want you all to be able to enjoy the show. It's a first of its kind virtual trade show, 4 hours only. We didn't want you to have to try to rush to get orders in online. Sit back and enjoy yourself, visit booths, ask questions. It gives you another week of orders to place. So any orders you place in the next week makes you extra eligible for these prizes as well. You do not have to attend the live drawing to win your prize. If you win, we will inform you after the fact. I just want to remind you guys too, there is a chat section here. If you guys want to chat, you can ask questions and we'll have staff responding to those things. But I'd much rather you go into the sales and support section over here, talk to any one of your favorite reps from any one of the 4 companies and ask your questions there. Remember too, that you can chat people that you know in this section. We're trying to keep it a little more social. If you see somebody in the chat section that you recognize, you can click on their name, you can chat with them specifically. You can even video with them directly if you want to. And also, this is a free event. If you want to share this on Facebook, feel free to do so. There's a ton of you here right now. We appreciate it. We're getting ready to move into the automotive section of our trade show. And for that, we're going to bring in Sean McAuliffe back at the IKS warehouse in New York. Sean, how are you?
I'm great, CS. Just spent some time in the X-Horse booth. Got to meet a few people. And like you were saying before, I kind of want to encourage everybody when you go into a booth, there's the button share audio and video. So if, try and make this as real as possible, right? We can't unfortunately be in person, but if we can see each other or talk to each other through audio, it's great. So if you can, click that share audio video button. You don't have to share your video. You could just share your audio, and then we'll be able to actually have a conversation. You can also chat if you want in the chat box, but it would be just great to get those, one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, not only that, you can, if you guys are sitting in front of a computer that has a webcam, you can actually be face-to-face with these manufacturers in the booth or with friends like you were just at any other trade show. We're trying to keep it as realistic as possible during the situation. So take as much advantage as you want. Right now, though, Sean, we're going to ask you some questions about some ongoing trends that you're seeing in the industry as a leader of one of the biggest distributors in the industry and one of the most handsome leaders that we have, if I don't say so myself, since you still sign my paychecks. What kind of trends do you see happening lately, last 6-12 months?
Yes. First of all, thank you for the compliment. I see, one of the things we've seen, especially with the pandemic, is diversification is important. That can mean many different things, right? It doesn't mean you have to be, everything about automotive and everything about commercial. It could mean diversifying in automotive. So if you've just been doing, basic keys and remotes, getting into some of the more advanced stuff like EEPROM or ADAS or module matching, I can go on and on with that. Or it could mean, if you're only doing automotive, doing some commercial and residential. With the pandemic, a lot of the commercial work slowed down. The automotive, it seems to have come back a little bit quicker. So for those guys that were diversified, I think from what I'm hearing, it sounds like they had a bit more of a cushion than some of the guys that were, hyper focused on one thing.
And I can tell you, just real quick on that, just as a salesman, I get a lot of calls. I talk to my reps every day, so I know what's going on out there a little bit. We've had a ton of influx of calls from commercial only locksmiths who got stung by this pretty hard, because if your main business is commercial and the commercial buildings are shut down, there's no work for you to do. So we've got a ton of people who've been calling in the last 6 months. Not only that, the educational classes that we've been having with SPS, it's 40-50% of the people who are taking those classes were new to automotive. So that's, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm seeing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I had a gentleman in the X-Horse booth who didn't do that much commercial, that much automotive. I think he mainly did commercial, but he was in there asking some questions. So it just kind of backs up your point, right? Some of these guys that were hyper focused on commercial have started to get back into automotive. You know, part of the reason, or it's a good time to do that now because the tools are a lot more accessible than they used to be. The prices, in some cases, come down. You know, where the price hasn't come down, the simplicity has gone up, right? So it used to be many different tools. The tools were hard to use to program keys and remotes. Now you can get one tool, you know, such as the Smart Pro, and that's going to be, you know, really simple to program keys and remotes, and it's going to cover, I mean, an insane amount of vehicles on the road. So it's a great time for those commercial guys to, if they were planning or thinking about diversifying, to start doing that. You know, like you said, we have all those classes where they can learn about automotive, but the tools are just so much easier. I think it's a great time to get back into it.
Yeah, and you know, I've been in this industry now going on 7 years. I've heard this conversation a ton of times being at trade shows. You know, I used to do automotive, and then, you know, VATS came along or something that threw them a curveball, and they said, that's enough technology for me. And we're getting some of those same people calling us now saying, I got no other business. I have no other business. So I need to make some money to feed my family. What can I do? There's a good profit margin in keys. So everybody who's here knows that. But the best thing that you all as locksmiths can do, or that the locksmiths can do, is to invest in themselves continuously. Take some of the classes that we offered, be at this event, ask questions, talk to people, educate yourself, and then invest in your business. And now's a good time to invest too, Sean, because something that, you know, tools used to be hard to use and expensive. Now tools are getting much easier to use through competition and just technological advancements. And also they're getting cheaper. What have you seen with, you know, advanced diagnostics used to just be super expensive. Even they've come down on prices, I think, through competition. But what kind of trends are you seeing in the pricing department?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think the cost of entry has come down a little bit. You know, you have tools like the IM608 from Autel. You've got the X-Horse tools. You've got tools from Auto Pro Pad and the Smart Pro. I mean, you know, the Smart Pro is not a cheap tool, but the upkeep annually is not bad. And they've changed their pricing structure. The great thing about the Smart Pro is that it's, you know, it's super easy, right? And the reason why the tool is a little bit more than some of the others is because you don't really have to think about what you're doing. The tool guides you through everything and tells you what vehicles you can and can't do exactly. Some of the other tools are very powerful and can do a lot of stuff, but they're not quite as simple to use. So yeah, I mean, you've got the Auto Pro Pad, which is significantly less, you know, less per year to use. You've got the IM608 and the IM508, which does diagnostic and key programming, which are, you know, I don't know, they're $4,000. So very reasonable. There's just a lot of opportunity right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I don't feel bad for any of you guys watching that are spending thousands of dollars on these machines. I got a call about 2 months ago that I'm going to share. It's a buddy up in Canada. I won't mention his name, but he spent $30 on 2 keys with us, charged his customer $600 because it was in a rural part of Canada. And the customer was happy to pay for it, apparently. So you guys make your return on investment really quick with these tools. We're here to help you make as much return on investment as possible. For those of you who don't do automotive, but you're interested, the best thing you can really do, go over to the sales and support tab, click on go into the HL Flake booth, go into the IKS booth, talk to a sales rep, ask some general questions. To make it easy, I mean, really you need 3 things. You need something to cut the keys, something to program the keys, and then you need key replacements, which is a very smooth segue into our Keyless to Go brand, right? And Sean, as the father of the Keyless to Go brand, for those people who don't know, or maybe people who know a little bit about it, but just need a little bit more information, why don't you tell people what Keyless to Go is?
Sure. So Keyless to Go, it started out as our, you know, kind of house brand of transponder keys. And then eventually it you know, expanded into keyless entry remotes. You know, it's expanded into metal test keys. You know, primarily what we're talking about today are the keyless entry remotes. You know, now we've got over 300 SKUs of Keyless to Go, you know, replacement keyless entry remotes. So these are much more affordable than original, you know, Toyota or Ford or what have you remotes. You know, to the tune of 50, 60, sometimes 70 or 80% less than buying it from the dealer. And we've come up with, over the last year, we've really been adding a lot of SKUs. These are some of the SKUs up on screen that we've added just over the last month. So we've got, Nissan Smart Keys, Flip Keys, Chrysler Pacifica, Toyota Smart Keys. So, and we have a lot coming down the road as well. So it's really a great way to make margin, right? You can be charging $300 for a job and the parts only costs $60. So a lot to come from there. Definitely want everybody to keep their eye on that.
Yeah, and then the keys, do they look different or do they look exactly the same as the OEM keys?
In most cases, they look the same. In some cases, they look a little bit different, but always they look kind of close to original. We see a lot of consumers, they want the remote to look like their original remote. It just seems to be a personal preference that everyone has. So these look very similar to original, in most cases, exactly alike.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, you mentioned that we have over 300 SKUs, and credit to you, because when I first started with you a few years ago, we were just focusing on transponder keys, remotes, remote-headed keys, not really diving in too much to the proxies, but you really kicked that prox game into gear. In the last, 60 days, we've come out with almost 40 GM SKUs alone. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't take the credit for that. That's all due to Anna. Anna's kind of taken over, leading the charge on coming out with new remotes, and she's done an amazing job. So, on the slides you saw, we have about 10 or 15 SKUs that were just released, 20 or so that are coming out, but there's even more being worked on right now that will be out in, 3-6 months. So, with that being said, one thing I wanted to cover is that some of you guys know our Keyless to Go brand, and today is a day, everyone's favorite sale. So we started the 20% off sale on the website for Keyless to Go. Whenever we put this sale out, we have a great response. So the sale is live now, guys. So if you go on the website, everything will be discounted 20%.
Or go see your sales rep in the IKS booth in the sales and support section of the event. So what are some SKUs that are coming out for Keyless to Go? I know we have a roadmap. I don't want to be the one to break it. You go ahead and break it.
Yeah, so some of the ones coming out, we're going to have the Nissan Rogue Flip Key. If you can give me the next slide, please. Let's see if we can get the right slide up here. Looks like we got the wrong slide. We'll get it up there. But so we've got a lot of Toyota Smart Keys coming out. That's the one. Thank you. So on the top, we've got just 3 pictures of Toyota Smart Keys up there, but actually we've got something like 20 some odd SKUs of Toyota Smart Keys coming out within the next month or two. A whole bunch of Nissan Smart Keys, even up to 2020. So we'll basically have almost every Nissan Smart Key in Keyless to Go. We actually received the Chrysler Pacifica Smart Keys that you see here. They're in the warehouse. We're just doing final testing before we start selling them again. So those are ready to go. And then we have that Nissan Flip Key as well for the Rogue. So that's just some of the stuff. There's a lot of other stuff.
Ford Prox keys, BMW keys.
Yeah, we've already released some BMW keys. We've got a few more GM Prox keys coming out that we're just doing some final tweaks on. Ford Escape Prox key, which I think we're the first ones to have that. So I'm real happy to announce that surfboard looking key. So yeah, a lot of SKUs, a lot more to come.
Absolutely. And Sean, our keys are FCC registered. What's the importance of them being FCC registered?
So that, what that does for you is it guarantees a certain level of quality. These keys all get sent to a lab before they're manufactured the first samples get sent to a lab and then subsequent samples to get sent to a lab to make sure that they're transmitting the way they should be. The signal is consistent. So it's just a way to guarantee a certain level of quality to the remotes that not many others are doing out there.
Perfect. If anybody wants more information on the Keyless to Go brand, or you want to say hi or say thank you to Anna, if you go into the Expo tab over here on your left-hand side, you can find the Keyless to Go booth. Go say hi. We're going to bring in Ryan McGee from Advanced Diagnostics at ILCO in a second. Sean, while we're waiting for Ryan to get here, what's up with, tell us a little bit about Durashell.
Yeah, so Durashell is our line of replacement key shells for some of the common key shells that break. A lot of the locksmiths here know that customers probably come in with broken Lexus remote head keys, broken Toyota remote head keys, broken Honda remote head keys. And a lot of times the blade breaks off from the remote part. So the DuraShell line is a durable line of key shells that you can do a quick replacement. You take the customer's remote pod out, put it in the DuraShell, cut the key, and now the customer has a key that's not going to break. You could, as soon as you get it, you can tell the difference between the original and the DuraShell.
Perfect. Again, that information can be found at the Keyless to Go booth as well with Miss Anna. All right, I think we have Ryan here now with Advanced Diagnostics and ILCO to talk about the Futura Pro family and the Advanced Diagnostics brand. How are you, Ryan?
Doing good. How you doing, CS? How you doing, Sean?
I'm great.
Well.
Thanks, Ryan.
How's it going over there in the booth?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for joining today and attending this show and taking the time out of their day on their weekend to join us here. So, today we have our Futura Pro and our complete Futura series in our Futura booth today. So we're going to go over the Futura Edge, the Futura Pro, the Futura Auto, and even the Futura Pro 1. And what these can provide for you is they provide electronic key cutting ability to be able to not only cut the key by decoding, you can also cut the key by duplicating, and you can also cut it by code. So it gives you multiple functionalities to be able to cut the key for your customer. So alongside with the Futura series of key machines, we also have our manual key machines as well. So if you're you kind of just getting into the business and you want to get something that's a little bit maybe on the cheaper side to get your feet wet, we do have solutions for manual key cut machines as well, whether it be for high security keys, edge cut keys, TIBI keys. Multi-lock, you name it, we got you covered. And then of course, after you cut your key, go ahead, CS. I'm sorry. I think you're about to say something.
I'm a fan of the brand, so I like to hear what you're saying. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yep. So and then of course, after you cut your key, you have to program that key, and we have the best solution for doing that, which is our Smart Pro key programmer. With the Smart Pro, it allows you to be able to easily utilize the tool to connect to the vehicle's OBD port and ultimately program that key. But with the use of the Smart Pro, as Sean was mentioning earlier, it's a very easy to use tool. It walks you step by step in the process of what you need to do to program that key to the vehicle, whether it be a push button vehicle, an integrated key such as the one I'm holding in my hand now, any type of key, like whether it be a fob, you name it. The Smart Pro is going to be able to program that key for you every time, and you're going to have a successful key program. And you also have tech support. We have a tech support available Monday through Friday for not only our key machines, we also have it for our advanced diagnostics products such as our Smart Pro, where we'll walk you through, if you're at a vehicle trying to program a key to a vehicle, we'll walk you step by step through that process if you run into any issues and make sure that your problem is solved and that vehicle is programmed. And we're also available for the Smart Pro tech support or advanced diagnostics tech support on Saturdays as well. So we definitely got you covered there.
That tech support, that Cliff Steiner guy, I hear nobody likes him really. He's not, he's not been around all that long. He doesn't got that best of personality. So I hear people try to avoid him. But Ryan, going back to your key cutting machines, I know you guys have a great line of the manual duplicators. The Bravo 3, probably the best manual duplicator out there. But with your electronic machines, what's the most popular key machine you guys have right now in the Futura series?
Well, the most popular right now would definitely be the Futura Auto. And the reason being, the price point of the Futura Auto compared to the other key machines is just a much better price point, and allows you to be able to service all of your automotive customers, whether you're cutting edge cut keys or high security keys. You're going to be able to do all of those keys and more in the automotive application. You can even do TIBI keys as well as tubular on the Auto. And like I said, the price point is very hard to beat. It's really competitive. So that would definitely be our most competitive and utilized tool that we currently offer. Now, if you're looking for something that goes all out, you definitely want to move towards the Futura Pro. The Futura Pro has all the bells and whistles. It allows you to be able to, cut your vehicle keys. It allows you to be able to cut your residential, commercial keys, multi-lock keys. I mean, any key you can think of, the Futura Pro can cut it. But like I said, again, with the Futura Auto, it's definitely tailored to automotive locksmith. So if you're looking to get into automotive locksmithing, though you already are, and you want something that's going to make your job a lot easier, you definitely want to check out our Futura Auto as well.
Yeah, the Futura Auto, for those that don't know, is about $3,800, so it's a really good price point for an automatic key cutting machine. Ryan, with the Futura Pro, so the Futura Auto just has the automotive, it's called Auto for a reason. You just have the automotive keys you can cut. The Futura Pro could cut everything. What can't the Futura Pro cut? I know you guys just added the best keyway and that kind of thing. So what cannot the Futura Pro cut?
There's really nothing I can think about that comes to mind that the Futura Pro can't handle. Like I said, we have coverage for pretty much everything with the Futura Pro. The only exception that I can think of would be Medico. We don't currently have a solution for that, but we actually have in the plans to hopefully release a key machine, hopefully a Futura key machine that will be able to have that capability to cut Medico keys as well in the near future, hopefully.
Hey, Ryan, Sean here. I know you guys recently released another jaw for the Futura Pro. What is that jaw that you released? Can you tell us about that?
The Peach jaw. So that allows you to be able to cut not only the best keys, but also the Peach keys all in this one jaw. The best jaw only, of course, allows you to cut the best keys, but the Peach jaw allows you to be able to easily load Peach keys as well as best keys within that one jaw configuration.
So previously, customers would have had to buy a whole different machine before you guys came out with this jaw?
They could do it with our machine, but it was so much more time consuming. So you had to play with the tip stop, had to get it just right to load the key in. So it was more of a hassle. So if you're doing, 50, hundreds of a key at a time, then it's really hard to do back-to-back keys successfully and cut them properly previously till we came out with this new jaw configuration. So with this jaw, it's really, there's no way you can mess up cutting that key. It only goes in and loads one way, and you're not going to have any type of user errors when utilizing these new jaws.
And is that strictly for the Futura Pro, or does it work for any of the other machines?
It also works for the Futura Edge, the Futura Pro and the Futura Edge.
Got it. Great. Can you tell us any other updates you guys might be working on, or what you think the future looks like for the Futura machines?
Like I said, we do have in the works for the Futura, what we're hopefully going to be calling the Futura Medico. Like I said, as far as when that's going to be released, I don't have an exact time or date. But like I said, hopefully sometime early next year, we'll have a solution as far as Medico keys. And of course, we're always updating the Futura with any new card information that we have released for new vehicles that are coming out or new residential commercial keys. We're always updating our database with those new keys when applicable.
And so, Ryan, I was going to ask you a question on that. How do people go about keeping their Futura Pro, Auto, or Edge up to date with all the newest releases?
Okay, so the good thing when you purchase a Futura Pro or Auto or any Futura machine, you'll get 6 months of free subscription. But after that 6 months, of course, you'll be able to utilize the machine as much as you would like. But if there was a new update, let's say 2 years from now, let's say Ford came out with a new key, you needed to be able to access that key card information in the machine. You would then have to purchase another subscription. And we do have different options available as far as purchasing subscriptions. You can do a yearly subscription up to even a 10-year subscription. And of course, the 10-year subscription is going to be a lot more, it's going to cost you less per year than the yearly subscription, but it's not something that you have to keep consecutive. But like I said, if new card information is coming out frequently and you're noticing that there's a new key that's coming out that you want to be able to do yearly, then it's definitely something that you should, maybe think about doing the 10-year subscription on your Futura.
So if somebody lets their subscription lapse at the end of 2020, for example, and they don't buy a new one in 2021, come 2022, they can just buy a new subscription and have all the updates previously?
Yeah, you'll get everything that we previously released whenever you renew your subscription. Whether it's 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years down the road, you'll get everything at that point of renewing your subscription. That's correct.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? This is a sales pitch for your Futura line. Anything you want to add on that before we jump over back to the Smart Pro?
I just want to mention, of course, we have tech support here available. We even have training sessions that we do. We actually have webinars that we do monthly, weekly. So we have support here for you if you're interested in our Futura key machines. And then we also have, like I said, definitely new updates are always coming out for the Futura. We try to strive ourselves in releasing that information and being the first to market to be able to cut these new keys that other machines are maybe not currently able to cut. So we definitely try to be the industry leader in coming out with new software implementations within our machines to make them more effective for you on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, absolutely. The Futura line, we sell. They're a little bit harder of a sell because they're technically on the higher side of the price range, but everyone that has one they love it. It's a solid machine with all the support that you mentioned. Going back to advanced diagnostics and the Smart Pro. Now, Sean will tell you, I'm a little biased on AD and the Smart Pro. I was I'm from AD. For those that don't know, I worked there for a long time. I saw the Smart Pro. I go back to MVP days, but I saw the Smart Pro be developed and birthed. I'm very biased, to say the least. But when we think of Smart Pro, when as a distributor, we sell Smart Pro to, I mean, anybody who wants one, but especially for new users, because like we've talked about, it is so easy to use. You don't have to know anything. I mean, it literally tells you, turn the key on, press enter, turn the key off, press enter. It's very, very simple to use. But when we think of advanced diagnostics, we think of usually industry leaders, right? First to market with software. There's a lot more competition lately in the last couple of years. What do you, Ryan, think sets the Smart Pro apart from the competition?
Like you're just saying, just the ease of use and the support, and we stand behind our tool. So, we do offer a 2-year warranty with all of our Smart Pro equipment. That's a 2-year warranty on the device itself. If you have any problems with the cables or any other additional accessories that come with the Smart Pro, we stand behind it. And not only that, like you just mentioned as well, as far as the software updates with the Smart Pro, we definitely try to be the industry leader in releasing new software that other key programmers don't currently have the ability to do. And our software engineers are working, hard day in, day out to provide that software and put it into our Smart Pro device to continuously, put that new software out in our customers' hands to make sure that they have what they need to not have to turn down any customers. Because that's really what you don't want to have to turn down a customer. So the way I look at it, if you have a customer who comes in once a week and you have to turn that customer away, that's maybe $200, $300, $400 that you turn away each week. So you add that, up throughout the course of a year. Think about how much money you've lost. So definitely make sure, our tool, we're going to make sure that you have the software that you need to be able to not have to turn that customer down when they come in to get the key program from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
every time they say no, you turn down money. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Yes, I was going to say, we go to trade shows a lot. Usually we're face to face, but all the time we get locksmiths coming up saying, "Hey, I'm just getting into automotive. What tool should I get?" Right? And my pitch is always, some of the guys, they want to buy the cheapest thing because they don't want to spend a lot of money, high risk. But for me, it's if a customer calls, you want to know whether you can do what they need or not, right? And as far as I know, the Smart Tool is the best at telling you that, right? You can look it up in the fitment guide and say, okay, this is a 2006 Ford Explorer. Yes, I can do that, right? So the last thing you want to do is get to a job with some tool that, you paid bottom dollar for. You get to the job and you waste 2 hours of your time, 2 hours of the customer's time. You don't even get the job done, right? So I always say get the Smart Pro first so you can build that good reputation. And then if you want to get cheaper tools later that you use when you need to, that's fine. But start with the Smart Pro. That's always what I lead with.
Absolutely.
And one more thing I did want to mention too is we have an application called MyKeys Pro. It's really a great application to use with any of our advanced diagnostic equipment, whether it be a MVP Pro or TCO Pro or the Smart Pro. It has an abundance of information as far as if the Smart Pro can program the vehicle, what's needed to program the vehicle, any tips and hints that our software engineers have found helpful to help program the vehicle. And we even have options to leave feedback within the application. So if you see a step that doesn't make sense to you within the programming sequence, you can provide feedback to our software engineers, and collectively they'll take that feedback and implement changes if necessary.
Absolutely. And Ryan, so Advanced Diagnostics been around since 1999, if I remember my training correctly. So they've been developing software for a long time. You guys have what, 70? Got to be right around 70 loads of software by now.
I kind of lost you for a second there, CS. I didn't catch that last part.
I was just saying that AD's been around for a long time. They come out with a lot of software, probably about 70 loads of software right now. And we've done the math on it. I believe the Smart Pro can program the most cars that are on the road right now out of any other key programmer. So I know you guys have come out with a bunch more. Did you come out like 3 or 4 in the last month or 2? What are some of the newest software releases you guys came out with?
Some of the newer ones would be, of course, for like Hyundai and Kia. We just recently released something for those, as well as Toyota, the new 2020 Toyotas. We actually we're working on being able to utilize NASA to be able to program some of those new vehicles. And you can find more information on that if you go to our website, adusa.us, and look at our new software releases. You'll see that one of the newest ones would be ADS 2296. It's going to be our newer Toyota software release that we've had. So software engineers are definitely staying hard at work trying to provide that information and updates as frequent as possible.
And which software did you guys just come out with that bypasses the need for internet connection?
That one would be for the Ford software. I'm pretty sure that one, and then the Hyundai and Kia.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. You know, there's a lot of people who just don't have solid internet connection when they're out in rural parts of the area. In a parking garage in the city, we get that a lot. So not needing to connect to internet, pretty big plus. What are some software that you guys have coming out on the roadmap?
Updated software that we're going to be having coming out is going to be some Volkswagen software. I don't have the exact specifics on models. We're working on implementing new BMW software as well. Like I said, don't have the exact time frame, but it's definitely going to try to get it out as soon as possible.
Okay.
And one thing I just wanted to clarify, with the Smart Pro, for I would say 99% of the vehicles that the Smart Pro can do, you do not require internet connectivity. Only for certain applications where you may have to connect to NASTIF or something along those lines to be able to complete the programming sequence that you would have to connect to internet.
Yeah, just know you guys, I believe you guys were the first ones to be able to bypass internet connection. So pretty big deal. And so anything else you want to add on the Smart Pro in general before, actually, I wanted to throw out the price point. So the selling point for the Smart Pro has always been, or even back with MVP and T-Code days, was the coverage, right? Coverage and reliability. The negative from the field is that it was expensive, right? It was the most expensive tool, rightfully so, because it can do the most jobs. But and now recently, you guys have come down in the last 6 months or so to where it's under $2,000 to get into a Smart Pro now, and the token prices have recently come down. You want to touch on that at all?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to be in the right, at the right level as far as price and being competitive. So we're, even now we're still working on ways to be more competitive out there. So definitely, like I said, the token prices, that's something that, customers have been asking for a long time, and we've heard them, and we managed to get those prices down. And we're looking to, like I said, hopefully get it down even more for our customers, because we want them to utilize our tool. We feel like our tool is definitely the industry leader. And we don't want price to turn a customer away from getting a premium product.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have done a fantastic job on that. It is a fantastic tool. Sean, before we head out to break, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to, again, thank you, Ryan, for joining us. Love the tool. Love having you guys as a partner. But for all the people out there viewing the show, I just want to remind them to check out the booths and do please share some audio and videos so that we can chat face-to-face on the computer.
Yeah, Ryan, I saw you guys doing some demos in the booth, or I stopped by the booth earlier, so they can see a live demo of the tool in action if they want.
Yep, definitely. Come by and see us. We'll be here to answer any questions that you may have, or show any demonstrations that we can show for you all. So thank you for attending the show. Thank you, CS. Thank you, Sean, for having us. Look to have a great show today. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, everyone, we're going to jump to a commercial break, and on the other side, we're going to have some more automotive conversation. So join us there. Remember, you got to visit 20 booths. Spend 5 minutes in 20 booths in order to get that platinum price. So go ahead and start joining some.
MasterLock is changing the way companies securely manage door entry access with the MasterLock Bluetooth Door Controller. This advanced door access control combines the cost benefits and convenience of keyless security with the control, flexibility, and accountability of Bluetooth-enabled hardware. Authorized individuals easily gain entry using the convenient MasterLock Vault Enterprise smartphone app. No PIN numbers to share, no keys to manage and replace. It lowers costs while enhancing security. With the MasterLock Bluetooth Door Controller and MasterLock Vault Enterprise software, you can remotely grant or revoke access to individual employees and employee groups, contractors, inspectors, or others, temporarily or on an ongoing basis. The door controller is part of the suite of Master Lock Bluetooth products, including padlocks and lock boxes that all operate on the same Master Lock Vault Enterprise platform. Together, they offer a complete security solution, making it the ideal system for facilities with multiple access needs. The easy-to-use Master Lock Vault Enterprise software allows you to customize access, such as door entry and storage areas, for each individual. A detailed audit history provides a record of who gained access and when, increasing accountability and minimizing waste and loss. The Master Lock Bluetooth door controller, padlocks, and lock boxes. The smart, simple, and secure way to manage access.
Now I think you're seeing a lot of touchless, because of just the nature of with coronavirus and just trying to keep everybody safe. I think that in the design community on the interior side, you're going to see more, we'll say, single offices and not so much of the team collaboration areas. We've had requests for a lot of touchless activation switches and auto operators, because people coming into the spaces, the less people that are touching, handling the handles, the less spread of disease and germs. We've seen that definitely elevate to where owners and buildings are trying to protect their tenants, so they really want to know who's in the building, controlling that flow of traffic. You know how many people are walking through those doors each day, touching the handles, touching the push buttons. By eliminating that, I think it's definitely going to help to control the spread of all diseases.
All right, everyone, welcome back from the break. It's CS here with a quick prize reminder. First, every booth in the expo area is giving away at least one prize worth between $200 and $500. Every booth that you visit for 5 minutes makes you eligible for that prize. If you want to increase your chances to win that prize, every $100 that you spend with that manufacturer in the next week will make you extra eligible for that prize as well. The golden ticket prize is our Futura Auto from Ilco. That's a $3,800 value. You get eligible for that prize just for attending the show. Everybody gets one entry, so we appreciate you for being here. In addition, for every $500 you spend with Advanced Diagnostics or Ilco products over the next week as well, you get an extra entry to win that prize. And every $500 you spend with any SPS brand over the next week, actually starting from September 21st through October 2nd, gives you an extra entry into that prize. And of course, we have the Platinum prize, which is $5,000 in store credit with either HL Flake or International Key Supply. There's one way and one way only to become eligible for that prize, and that is you have to spend at least 5 minutes in 20 different booths. Doing that's very easy. Go to the left-hand side of your page, click in the expo area, and then just visit any booth. Go talk to some manufacturers, listen to them give presentations, spend 5 minutes, do that 20 times, you're eligible to win $5,000. Now, the prize drawing will not be today. We wanted you guys to be able to sit back and just enjoy the show. We're actually going to do a live stream on October 9th. But you do not have to be present at the live stream to actually win your prize. If you do win, we will notify you after the fact, but it'll be a little fun to give it away on video. Just keep in mind too, you can chat in this section. If you guys want to chat with anybody, with any of your representatives, you can go to the sales and support tab on the left-hand side of your page and talk to any rep. You guys can also talk to each other. If you look at there's a chat tab and then there's a people tab. If you click on the people tab, you can search for and find any one of your buddies that may also be watching the show. If you click on their name, you can video chat with them or chat with them directly. Also, feel free to share this on Facebook for any of your friends who aren't here. It is free. So we're going to take it back to Houston right now, though, with Alex and Brenton, and they're going to walk us through the next part of the show. Alex and Brenton? There we go. If you find, you look at there's a chat tab and then there's a people tab. If you click on the people tab, you can search for and find any one of your buddies that may also be watching the show. If you click on their name, you can video chat with them directly. Also, feel free to share this on Facebook for any of your friends who aren't here. It is free. So we're going to
Use Bluetooth technology as a credential.
Use our phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what everybody's been asking for. Everybody wants to use their cell phone as a credential to be able to open a door. I don't want to carry fobs or ID cards or keys. They want, I want what's already in my pocket. And, we're there, and we've got some really good manufacturers that are going to be talking about what they're doing to help support it and really push that technology and access control. So, is Lloyd ready for us?
Yes, Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, so we've got Lloyd with Allegion. He's going to be talking about some of the cool things that they're doing and how they're integrating this technology into security and access control.
Okay, I'm kind of hearing somebody else talking too.
Some really good manufacturers that can be talking about what they're doing to help support it and really push that technology. Yeah, actually, I think it's my echo in the background.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, we can get to it. Man, I like how you're sitting. You're nice and relaxed. We're uptight over here. I can't relax, can't bend my knees or move around, but we're good. I'm having a good time. Cool things that they're doing and how they're integrating this technology into security access control.
Kind of hearing somebody else talking. Yeah, way echo. Interesting. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Start it up. I like how you're sitting. You're nice and relaxed. We're uptight over here. I can't relax. Can't bend my knees, move around, but we're good. That was like 10 minutes ago.
I'm in my main training room in Plano or whatever. I had various different operators and things like that set up, but I think during this session now, I'm invited to talk about Bluetooth technology. So is everything still good? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. They had asked me to talk about Bluetooth technology as far as Allegion is concerned. We have a lot of technology going on right now that pertains to Bluetooth. The primary training room in Plano or whatever, I have various different operators and things like that set up.
Hey, Lloyd, go ahead and close your hop in if you have it open. That's probably what's creating the echo.
Bluetooth technology. So is everything still good? Can you hear me okay? Yes, sir. All right, good. Now that might have just killed me. Oh no, that killed me. God.
No, you're good. You're still on.
Okay.
You're still alive. You're not killed.
Oh.
You didn't die.
Okay.
All right. So now let's pick it up from the top. So you're going to be discussing some of the cool Bluetooth technology that Allegion's using to integrate into access control. So.
Yes. Okay. Much better now. I can't see you or anything, but that's okay. Yes, talking about Bluetooth and how it relates to Allegion products and things. So one of our major things is we introduced a few years ago our Engage platform and product portfolio. So it is primarily based on cloud-based access control with Bluetooth technology as far as the locks and controllers and things like that are concerned. So we have a cylindrical version of the lock. We have a mortise version of the lock. We have a single door controller version of the Engage platform. They all work off Bluetooth. You can actually manage them any one of three different ways. So the premise behind them with the cylindrical and the mortise lock is you can take a mechanical lock out. The electronic versions, the NDE and the LE, will bolt right in where the mechanical comes out, and you can manage them one of three ways. The very first way is we have an Engage app. It's a mobile and a web app. It is totally free. So you can download the mobile app to your phone, or you can go onto the website, allegionengage.com, and get the web app. And through those apps, you can communicate with the locks via Bluetooth. So it allows you to manage the locks via Bluetooth with a mobile app, or you can go on the web app and do the same similar things. So it's all cloud-based. So anything you do on either one of them works for both. So these locks are all 4 AA battery powered, give you about 2 years life. They're just standard batteries. There's no fancy battery to them at all. And we just introduced, one of the things we just introduced is our new mobile credential, our new Bluetooth mobile credential. Currently, it's free. Sometime after the first of the year, there will be a small charge for it. But right now, with the mobile credential, we can utilize it with the Engage platform and utilize it with the products, and it kind of helps us get into this touchless environment scenario. So you can pull it up. It's Bluetooth, so it works from about 30 feet away. We utilize it here at our office quite a bit in the aspect of touchless. I can get out of my car in the parking lot. I can use my Bluetooth credential and activate it. And by the time I get up there, the door's unlocked and it's ready for me if I've got my hands full of things and everything. So, like I said, these things are easy to install, easy to utilize, easy to manage, things like that. So any other questions?
Yes, on the Engage software, you said it's cloud-based. Do we have any fees involved with that?
No fees whatsoever with the Engage software. So it is a free application. So you can either from your smartphone go onto your Google Play Store or your iPhone store and download Allegiant Engage. You don't even have to have the locks to do that. So if you want to see what that's all about, you can download the Engage platform from your mobile phone. And from there, you can sign into an account. Totally free if you want to kind of look around before you get the locks or whatever. So totally free.
So what about, is there any certifications or certificates that are needed to install it? Or can, a security professional just give us a call, order an NDE from us and have at it?
Correct. Very good question, Alex. If somebody wants to get involved in it, it's just a matter of ordering any of the locks or the controllers from Security Pro Supply, HL Flake. And once you do that, you can download the app. Once you download the app, it will ask you to create an account. And from that account, you can actually what we call commission the locks. So you would actually capture the locks on that particular Engage account. That would prevent anyone else from capturing them or doing anything with them. Even if they were to fully factory default reset them, they still couldn't commission them because they're commissioned to that particular account. And then from that app or the web app, you are allowed to enroll credentials with them. You can assign the door name to them and things like that. You can get audit capability. We have time schedules. We have user schedules. There's any number of things you can utilize with it. One of the other ways that you can manage it is we've made this real easy to do. You can also tie it to a third-party software program. I know you guys at HL Flake are doing several things with Carry and things like that. We also have the ability to tie these products to a third-party software platform like Carry or anything like that. So right now, currently, we've got about 39 alliance partners.
Great. And you still have the ability to manage it standalone, right? So you don't have to. Yeah. So that's really, really good. That makes it easy to incorporate. You've got a small business that wants one, only needs maybe 1 or 2 units. Maybe they don't have a big software platform managing their two doors. But yeah, if you can manage it standalone, that's great.
Yes, the ideal premise behind this when we first came out is you've got a existing building that's possibly already got access control and utilizing credentials on the exterior, but a tenant may move into the inside and take over 1 or 2 floors or whatever and want to manage some things themselves without tying it into the enterprise platform. They can purchase NDEs, download the app, and then manage their access control within their leased space. Because these things are designed to take mechanical locks off, put these on. When the lease is up, they take the electronic locks back off, put the mechanical back on, and good to go. And they haven't marred the doors or anything like that. So yes, standalone, or you can tie it to a third-party integration.
Is there a hardwired solution for the Engage platform as well?
As far as a hardwired, we have our individual CTE door controller. So the cylindrical lock and the mortise lock are totally wireless. All the components are in the lock itself. So the CTE controller is designed for around the door components. So it is kind of a hardwired version, but it also still utilizes Bluetooth to be able to control it and communicate with it and everything. But it allows you to wire, say, an electrified exit device or a narrow style door lock, mag lock, door position switch. It has all the inputs and things to be able to tie around the door components to that controller and still base off of that Engage technology and control it via the mobile phone with Bluetooth.
Okay, so you could have wireless and hardwired in one system.
Correct. Try to be versatile.
Yes.
Yeah, and then on the lock applications, I know there's cylindrical because we have one on one of our doors, mortise, and then there's a narrow style option as well, correct?
Only with the CTE controller. So the CTE controller allows us the flexibility to tie it into any kind of narrow style lock, like a mag lock or an electrified exit device on that narrow style door or anything like that. So we don't actually have a narrow style lock that works with it yet.
Oh, I like that tease. Yeah,
Yeah, we always say yet. We're always working.
Any exit devices that'll work with the Engage platform yet?
Not yet. It's in the works. So we are working on an exit device product that will work with Engage products. Haven't released that yet, so stay tuned. For another thing, for the mobile credential aspect of it, since the mobile credential is fairly new, there is some old NDE and LE and CTE controllers in the field that may not be mobile compatible. So in that scenario, we do have retrofit kits that you can utilize and purchase from HL Flake that will allow you to upgrade an older NDE cylindrical lock or an older LE mortise lock or an older controller and allow you to upgrade and get the mobile credential capability in the field.
Does it need to be modified in order to get that conversion kit installed?
Oop, I couldn't hear that one.
Does it need to be modified, the existing NDE, in order to put the Bluetooth conversion in? Does anything change?
Oop, I still couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, now I can.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I said, in order to use that conversion kit on an existing NDE, do you have to modify the NDE to fit the conversion kit? Or does it just fit right in?
It fits right in. The conversion kit usually entails part of changing out the back part of the lock on the inside of the door that has all the controls in it and everything. So it's really just controlling or changing out that rear part of the lock. So it's just a small kit that comes with it. You don't have to change any of the front part. It's primarily just the rear part.
Okay. So just the reader changes.
All right, hey Lloyd, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Make sure you guys visit the Allegiant booth in the main expo. Up next, we've got Brian Ramos with Master Lock.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Lloyd. Hey, Brian, how are you?
How's it going, Brian?
Got no audio.
How's that?
We're good. We're good.
Good
so,
deal.
You're with Master Lock, and they've got a lot of new and exciting things that you guys are doing with Bluetooth technology, not just padlocks. So I'm gonna let you kind of explain what's going on and what you guys are doing.
Yeah. First off, I appreciate you allowing me to go over the Bluetooth locking solution with you guys. Master Lock's been around for almost 100 years, and even Master Lock realizes that keys are going away little by little, and technology's there. So in 2015, we actually came out with this product line, basically just using your phone for access control. So this is our outdoor padlock. Let me get it on the camera here. You just wake it up and you use your phone to open it. That's it. That's what we're doing here. With this technology, what we like to say is we're giving you the control, flexibility, and accountability you're looking for. Control, you know exactly who's coming in the lock. Flexibility, you can do a little scheduling. You can also do temporary codes right from your phone, which is awesome. And accountability, you know what's going on with everything. So, we obviously have, our outdoor, we have an indoor, we have lock boxes. But the latest and greatest thing we got, came out in 2019, is our door relay. Now, this, all you need is power and a door strike or a mag lock, some kind of locking device, and you have access control. I mean, here's a perfect example of what we did here. This is a strike, and I have the door relay inside of it. Just click it, boom, with your phone, and you're in. What's great about this, software is easy, app is easy, and it allows you to get in the access control world very inexpensively. So a 3-door system in Chicago is going to cost you like $10,000. This is way below that. This is probably around $2,000 to install to the customer. So it's a great little product. If you're getting an access control, this is great for any facility, especially for those smaller 3 to 5 door systems. And with that, you can use all the other product line with it, the locks, the lock boxes, and throughout.
Brian, where would you put that one door controller on the install? Where would it go?
Good point. In this example I have here, let's say this is the door frame. You can put it right in the door frame. This one's actually mounted. You can't really see it. It's mounted in the door frame. It's however you want to install it, in the door frame or up above the door. It's very small, so you can put it wherever. We've also seen this as people's putting in the crash bar for touchless. So instead of using your hands, now you can just use the phone, hits the power operator, and you're in.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah. So how many openings can you manage on that one controller?
Just one door.
Okay,
one door.
Cool. And what about, so and you said it's managed on an app?
We have a web-based software. So as long as you can get online, you get to our software. Okay. And then you have the app is your key. So, but from the app, you can also send temporary codes. You can look at history. You can do a lot just with the app. But this is your key to get in all you're allowed to get into.
Okay. So when you're managing the lock with your login online, is there a maximum number of doors, or is it kind of unlimited, just as many controllers?
Unlimited. Unlimited. I kind of want to add that the software is free, the app is free, and you can have as many people on the software as you want, and you can have as many people on the app as you want. It's up to you. There's no limit.
That's great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that makes it competitive. It's kind of takes some of that nervousness that I know some new guy, maybe somebody's really not really too much access control to get into. And if you know, hey, it's managed online, I can have as many users as I want. I can, make changes as I need. That's a pretty competitive package for somebody who's looking to do something easy and quick.
I think you hit it right there. It's very simple software. We can run it through, and after 5 minutes, you're an expert. But also what I think is great is once you start using the door relay, it lends you into all of our products. So if it's a single door application, great. If they have lockers, you can always give them our indoor padlock and maybe sell them a lockbox. So it's much more than just door relay. Once you start using that, you can sell more products all under one platform.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, if you have lockers and you want to manage, who the users are, and that's a really good point. So you can do, electric strikes and all that stuff that's independently from that, but all the products that you guys also offer that integrate with it. So that's great. So you said there's two different types of padlocks. There's an indoor and an outdoor.
Yes.
Correct. What about on the lockbox? Is it? I mean, not that there'd be too many of them indoor, but it can be mounted anywhere, I'm sure.
We have the mounted version, and then we have the shackle one. A lot's done with this in the real estate market. But this is mounted outside a lot of times, either for, if they need a key or, we have this being sold a lot for the small jobs. Let's say power goes out or something like that. They put the lockbox near them, so at least they can do a code or a temporary code to get in and get the key in an emergency. Or even we're dealing with some moving companies that have this in their yard. Someone forgets a key or someone needs a truck, they're in the lockbox. So a lot of different applications.
What's the battery life like on the lockboxes and the padlocks?
10,000 cycles, so it's about 3 years. But actually, on our software, we have a new feature called notification. So that will actually tell you when the batteries get around 20%. Also, with that notification, if you wanted to, when I go to this door and if I have it under notification, I can have 3 people notified that someone opened this door. And that would be within minutes. You would know, hey, someone just came in.
That's great. Yeah, hey, Brian, we really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on and showing us all the cool products that Master's coming out with. Make sure you guys visit Masterlock at the main expo. They got plenty of cool products and some really good discounts available. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right, so now we've got Andy Phelps with Alarm Lock. He's going to be talking about some of the items that they've got that incorporate Bluetooth technology. Hey, Andy, what's going on?
How's it going, Andy?
Hit that unmute button, but yeah, we're doing real good. Well, what I want to talk about real quick is, since we're talking about Bluetooth, is we actually have the Architect Series lock, which is the one that you see here. I'll hold it up a little bit. This Architect Series lock is an indoor lock that you can use actually your phone. We do have an app that we can have on our phone that will unlock and then relock the door. Basically, it's just a regular credential, okay? But you're using your phone. So with our Mortise version of this, we actually have a toggle with the app. So we can actually toggle the door unlocked and then use another way to lock it back, or use the app to lock it back. Real easy to use. Currently, you add the phones and the locks, you pair those two together at the lock. But here, hopefully in the short future, we will be able to actually send credentials from our DL window software to a user, and they will be able to have an expiration date. Be great for Airbnbs, rental vacation rentals, where you send the credential to the user and it expires at the end of their whatever rental they have, and you don't have to worry about them being able to get back in.
That's great. That's great.
Andy, on the credentials, the mobile credentials, is there a fee associated with the credentials?
No, there's not a fee associated with the mobile credential. You just, right now, I mean, when we get it with the software going, there won't be any fee with those. And then, of course, right now, you're just, you're pairing the phone to the lock. So, no, there's no fee.
Okay. What's the time frame?
I'm hoping, and by the end of our fiscal year, which would be July or June of next year, that we will have the ability to do it through the software. I mean, everything is there. We're just waiting for a couple of small little, I won't say bugs, but they're still working on how to actually send that credential and get it accepted. But but we're working with that. But I mean, currently, like I said, it's real easy. If you have, this lock is part of our network series. So if you want to add, for say your office or whatever, you want to add your credential, it's really easy to do. I mean, you've got the app on your phone. You have to put the lock into program mode. You do that with a manager's credential. You just hit to open and push the button on the back, puts the lock into pairing mode, and then on the app, you click on add new lock, tap on it, tap on my lock when it shows up, give it a password, doesn't matter what it is, click OK. Oh, didn't want to, it failed. Okay. I was playing with this earlier and I guess it's already enrolled, but tap on it and it gives you you put in a password, and then it comes up with the on the screen. So I got it on another phone, so take it out of program mode. That's the joys of working live. But you do have the app on the phone, so you can see that it has the padlock icon. I just tap that icon, it'll turn green, doors unlocked, and then it'll turn red when it locks back. Okay, oh, there we go. Okay,
nice.
So really easy to use. You can have right now, currently, you can have up to 27 locks per phone and 27 phones per lock. The first two that you actually pair.
Hey, Andy, we're actually running out of time.
Okay.
But hey, thank you for coming by. We really appreciate you showing us some of the new items that Alarm.Lock's come up with on the architecture series that incorporates Bluetooth. Everybody,
Appreciate
please
it.
make sure you visit Alarm Lock in the main expo. And we're going to go quick to a commercial break.
You already know us as
HL Flake in Houston, Texas.
International Key Supply in New York.
McDonald Dash in Memphis, Tennessee.
H.E. Mitchell, Portland.
HL Flake in Jacksonville, Florida.
We are Security Pro Supply.
All of our brand names will continue to actively be used. Bringing these great companies together under the SPS parent brand allows us to clearly communicate our unified mission, which is to help security professionals be successful. Combining these businesses, we are better together.
The benefits of HL Flake and International Key Supply merging are many. We're going to have the widest selection of security products in stock, including over 45,000 SKUs in our warehouses and access to millions of items across our manufacturing network. Between all of our branches, we have experts in automotive, commercial, safe, lock picking, and really every aspect of the locksmith trade.
In the coming months, we will be launching a new website, we will be launching a new warehouse management system, and unifying the phone systems to answer any security-related questions you may have. Combining these businesses, we are
better together.
Remember this?
Master Lock model number 15 did not open.
Master Lock padlocks were tough back then. The new Master Lock Magnum is the next generation of tough. Just try and open one. Even after multiple hits with an 11-pound sledgehammer, Magnum still holds on. Chances are you'll give out before it does. Oh, and it still takes a bullet. Master Lock Magnum, what tough is today.
Small format interchangeable cores are used in many facilities to rapidly change out locks by simply swapping cores and keys. With literally millions of these cores already installed, the time has come to find a smarter solution to your ever-changing security needs. With smart SFIC solutions from Medico, you can now choose from 3 different levels of value and security to grow with your business. Your options range from a cost-saving solution, a patented key control alternative, and even an intelligent key option. All that fit into the SFIC hardware. These needs are present in nearly any SFIC facility. To reduce costs without compromising quality or convenience, try the Medico B solution. This allows system administrators to add keys and cores to most existing systems without having to rekey or hand out new keys. These are available in the most popular keyways used with common SFIC brands. For increased security, Medico X4 offers patent-protected key control to eliminate unauthorized duplication of keys, which may be more appropriate for installations with many or transient key holders. And for installations where higher accountability is required, Medico XT small format interchangeable core allows scheduling of access and audit trails of all activity.
least 5 minutes makes you eligible for that booth's prize. Every booth prize is worth between $200 and $500, so it's worth your time. In addition, every $100 you spend with that manufacturer from now through October 2nd makes you extra eligible for that prize. Our golden ticket prize is a Futura Auto worth $3,800 from our friends at Ilco. You're entered to win that just by being here today, so thank you for that. In addition, every $500 you spend with Advanced Diagnostics and Ilco in the next week makes you extra eligible. Any $500 you spend, period, with SPS branded companies makes you extra eligible for that prize. And there's unlimited entries. And then the platinum prize is $5,000 store credit from either HL Flake or International Key Supply. The only way to be eligible for that is to visit 20 booths and spend 5 minutes in each booth. So if you haven't already done that, you're about halfway through the show. You got plenty of time to make that up. Visiting booths are easy. Just click over here on the left-hand side of your screen in the Expo tab, and then just click in any booth and interact. Prize drawing will be October 9th. We're not doing prizes today because we want you guys to be able to enjoy the show and ask your questions. It gives you a full another week to get your orders in to make you eligible for all of the prizes. Keep in mind, if you guys want to be, when you're in the booth, interact, share your audio, share your video, do live demonstrations, live interactions with the product manufacturers, with other people in the booth. And if you're in the chat section, feel free to ask questions to the staff. Feel free to talk to each other. And if you click on each other's name, you can actually chat one-on-one privately or video chat. Again, this is a free event. So if you're seeing this on, or if you want to share this on Facebook, feel free. Right now, we're going to continue with Alex out in Houston. I think you have a pretty good guest coming up, Alex.
Yeah, we do. We've got Wayne Witten coming up. He's taught a couple of classes for us over the last couple of weeks. And he's a customer of ours. So kind of best of both worlds. He can tell us a little bit about what he's seeing on the classroom area, and then, what he's noticing from HL Flake as a customer. So yeah, Wayne should be coming up.
Hey, how's it going, Alex?
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
Definitely good to see you. Doing great, enjoying the show. I've been bouncing around from booth to booth, and it's just amazing. I can't believe you guys put this together so quickly. It's really, truly groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's different, but exciting. A lot of fun. I didn't know if I was going to be as tired as I would be after a normal trade show, but yeah, I'm going to be pretty beat after this. This is pretty nerve-wracking, but it's all good. Having a good time. Customers seem to be enjoying themselves. You've been very active in the chat section.
Yes.
So that's been great.
Yes.
And I know
everything, and just checking out all the different booths. I highly encourage everybody to see all the different booths. We had an excellent time teaching for the classes through September, and I'm just, like I said, there's got to be a ton of work on the backside, and you guys are just doing an amazing job, and I'm just really, really thankful and glad to be a part of it all.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight being carried, not by me, but yeah, there's some individuals here that put in a lot of work, a lot of time. So you said you were teaching some classes. What classes were you teaching in September?
We taught electronic access, and we just had the people from Master Lock on not too long ago, and I can really 100% vouch for that product. The electronic strike was the one that we actually featured in that class, and the new look of how people want access control installed. I'm in the Aspen area, which is very, very high-end clientele. Louis Vuitton, just some of the biggest names out there in fashion and high-end apparel and jewelry. They want an electronic access system, but they don't want to see it. And that makes an excellent opportunity and an easy installation and a user-friendly platform. So we have installed that little reader in quite a few systems, and the fact that it stays hidden in the frame or in the wall or in the power supply is just so amazing that it meets all my customers' needs. And as soon as we do one at one location, they automatically start asking for other locations. They want to know what we used and how we did it, because they want to expand upon that. The other classes that we taught were the Lishi classes. Everybody knows these Lishi tools have been out for about a year in the residential and pin tumbler market, and they are revolutionizing and game changing, just like they did the automotive market. I can come out there and I can take a 30-minute job and I can cut it down to 5 minutes with this Lishi tool. I can go from a lockout to handing a person a key in 5 minutes or less, and still maintain the same amount of charge and increase my profits, invest in quality tools, and just move on throughout my day faster.
Yeah. And you're decoding that lock without having to remove the cylinder from the door.
Right.
So all that's happening, with you facing the entry.
Yeah, exactly. I walk up to the door, stick the leashy tool in. It helps me pick far faster, spool pins, security pins, serrated pins, all that stuff. It's going to make you a more proficient lock picker, and it's going to decode that lock, and you're not going to have that stigma or that liability. We know if we come up to a lock and we take it apart, I'm now married to that lock for now until the end of time, according to my customer, because I looked at it. But now I say, no, we didn't take it apart. We just did it all from the outside. We did exactly what would happen if you use the key, and we hand them a key, and that's it. I don't have to worry about it. It's a time saver. It's a money maker. It's everything you want in a tool. And you can, the classes that we taught teach you how to decode master key systems. The leashy tools do work on the smart key locks, generations 1 through 3. We can decode them. Just like you would a regular lock, and we can make a key for the customer just like we would a pin tumbler lock.
So what about the QuickSet Smart Key Decoder? There's been a lot of talk, a lot of buzz. We're getting a lot of phone calls and emails about that tool.
Hottest tool on the market right now.
It is.
LockTech Smart Key Decoder tool. It is a Wi-Fi camera that allows you to insert it into the lock. And if you want to use it on your phone, you can hook it up through Bluetooth. It'll wirelessly talk to your phone, and you can actually decode each one of those. It comes with spacers, so you know you're exactly right on which cut you're on. You can take pictures, you can record it. And one of the biggest factors that I think makes this a home run hit and a knockout product is the fact that I can be aware of my surroundings. Us as security professionals, we come into some bad situations where there's domestic violence, where there's repossessions, where there's evictions, and there's a lot of things going on around us. And this tool takes the security professional from picking a lock and focusing right there on it and being completely enveloped in what you're doing right there at the door. And it allows you to move through that lock, record the whole thing, take your pictures, go back to the van, all while remaining aware of your surroundings around you and anything that could be going on around you. It allows you to do that, take that information, go back to the truck, cut a key, hand the customer a key, and walk away. Yet again, these QuickSet locks are infesting everywhere. I mean, they're showing up at every new location. There's probably going to be a QuickSet Smart Key lock there, and that's just what a lot of these general contractors are going to. And they're a very nasty lock to try and pick or decode any other way. This makes a complicated, hard problem very easy to manage and deal with. QuickSet's also putting these locks in padlocks and toolboxes. They are hitting the gas. They are quadrupling down, and you are going to run into smart key locks, and you are going to have to deal with them as a security professional in 2020.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. I never really thought about what you said, where you can be, aware of your surroundings, because you do end up getting tunnel vision on what you're working on, and you kind of forget what's going on behind you, or shoot, sometimes even in front of you,
Right.
when you're so focused in. But yeah, that's a really, really good point. If anybody's out there that wants one, give us a call, or send us an email. We'll put you on the list. That list is it's long, but we're working on it. We're working with LockTech. We're getting those products in here, and we're getting them sold. But yeah, we get so many phone calls about that item. It's been really, really hot. So
that's great. And I think one of the big things that people really need to keep in mind is they need to be patient with with LockTech and getting those products out, because they're not going to outsource that, and they're not going to build a cheaper product to meet the demand and meet the sales quota. They're still making that product as quality as they possibly can. And I think that's what their real goal is. And that's what their real company value is. So it's really worth it to wait however long it takes to get that tool, to make sure you get the real quality tool. They're not going to just send you something cheap that's going to fall apart. This tool's great. I've used it. It's fell out of the truck. I've used and abused it, and it's put up with everything I've thrown at it. I'm just totally impressed with it. So I know there's a little bit of a wait, but trust me, it's worth every penny, and it's worth the wait.
Great. So, you kind of touched base on some of the leachy tools and how you're using them in the commercial space. Are you able to pick to like a control or to a master key
Yes.
with those commercial Lishi tools?
Absolutely. We all know that when we come out to a location and you're going to be servicing interchangeable core locking systems, the first thing you're going to do is ask for the manager, and you're going to ask for a control key, and you're going to get this blank stare and this glazed over look on 80% of the jobs. At least that's the way it works for me. So this tool allows you to go in there, and my class teaches you techniques on how to pick exactly to control so that you can pull that core non-destructively. You could take it out to the truck and do whatever you needed to do with it, or you could pull that core. It saves you from having to drill that core. So the class that we teach, we can teach you how to pick to control, we'll teach you how to pick to operating, and then we can teach you how to pick and decode the entire system. So if it's master keyed, we can give you the entire system, every single cut, every single option. So you could actually you could pick and decode to control and cut a control key and pull 100 cores on location without the customer having or providing a control key. That is a game changer and a time saver. And you don't have to take the lock apart and decode it manually through all the little pins. You spill one pin, you're now done. It's game over.
Right. Hey, Wayne, thank you so much for doing this for us. We really, really appreciate it. Make sure you look for Wayne in the chat area. Maybe do a video call with him, send him a note.
We're going to be bouncing around. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a great trade show.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks a lot, Wayne. We really appreciate it. And now we're going to be bringing on Sean, which should be joining us here pretty shortly. Hey, Sean, what's going on?
Hey, Alex, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Having a good time.
Nice. Yeah, I was just bouncing around. I was in the Keyless to Go booth for a few minutes, spent some time in the X-Force booth, so got to see some faces, talk to some people. Almost felt like the real thing.
Yeah. I actually went into the sales support section, and I was in there talking to some of the salespeople, and there's customers in there utilizing it the way it should be utilized. They're asking questions, they're placing orders. They're wanting to see the salespeople that they talk to on a regular basis in a different setting. So it's been really good.
Yeah, I'm really glad everyone's utilizing it. We obviously we wanted to do this and we thought it would be great, but now that the day is here and people are utilizing it and talking face to face as much as we can here, it's been awesome.
Right. So I think we should be having JB coming up, correct? All right,
waiting on JB. I saw you and Wayne talking. I mean, hey JB, how's it going?
Sean, how's it going?
What's up, JB?
How's it going?
Very
Pretty
good, very good. How's everything at the Lishi booth?
You know what? This virtual trade show is really impressing me. I really didn't know what to expect going into it, and maybe that's not the greatest thing to say, but the excitement and the interaction of all these customers and just their willingness to talk to each other and ask me questions and interact, I'm completely blown away with how this is going. I'm very, very encouraged. It's very fun.
Yeah, no, same thing. Me and Alex were just talking about it. We put all this effort in. We thought it would be a great idea. Got all these people together, and thankfully everyone showed up. So really happy about that. So JB, like you said, you're manning the Lishi booth right now. You're our automotive Lishi extraordinaire. You do classes for us. You're manning the booth right now. Can you tell me, for those of the guys that maybe don't know what Lishi is, what is it? Why is it good?
Sure, of course. Lishi is a tool that's designed to pick and ultimately decode the lock cylinder that you're working with so that you can generate a key. So there are specific tools for specific keyways, and once you have the right tool for the right keyway, you insert the tool into the lock, you apply turning pressure, you pick the lock, and then you can use that same tool to decode the cuts, and then you can actually produce a working key for this lock without removing it from the door of the vehicle or the trunk or wherever it happens to be.
Okay, that's great. And what? I think we just had CS jumping in for a sec, but we lost him. What do Lishi picks cover? I mean, you're our automotive guy, but can you tell us about exactly what you can do with them?
Well, I'll tell you, they cover almost every keyway that you would commonly run into. There is somewhere around 85 to 90 keyways that are covered, and over 100 different tools with the 2-in-1 pick decoder like we're talking about, and then also some of the direct readers that work on some of those same keyways. There's a vast majority of the keyways that are covered on all the vehicles that you'll see, whether it's standard security or high security, or even, as Wayne was just talking about a minute ago, pin tumbler locks that you commonly find in commercial residential type locks. But Lishi is also releasing tools for pin tumbler locks that are found in automotive vehicles. They're getting ready to release H50, H51, and H60 for Ford. So if you have a market that have these older vehicles in there, this is really going to be helpful to you.
Yeah. Hey, CS, how's it going?
Hey, you guys thought you were going to be able to do this without me? No way.
Never. I was wondering where you were. I was missing you.
I know. Well, thank you, JB, for being here. I think you shortchanged JB a little bit on his introduction. I don't know if for the people who don't know, JB's everywhere teaching classes for us. He's at every trade show. JB, how much tech support do you do? Like 1,000 calls, a couple thousand calls a month. So if you ever call in for us for help on technical support, repairs, anything, you're going to hear JB's voice. You're going to see his face. It's a nice face. He teaches classes. He knows everything. Between him and Sean, they know literally everything. So this is the best segment, bar none.
Most of it from JB's side, though. I'm maybe like 3 or 4%. JB's
like a
the rest.
90-10 split. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, JB, you were telling us with the Lishi picks, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't cut off the guy who signs my checks. I have a bad habit of doing that.
Story.
But Lishi covers. I mean, we talked. There's over like 100, like well over 100 SKUs for automotive, right? They're coming out with some more. They cover residential, and do they do a little bit of motorcycle too, or what do they do there?
Oh, definitely. Lishi is, in the last year or so, really come on with their motorcycle offerings. Matter of fact, they're just getting ready to release, which I think they've released, but we haven't received them yet. KW18, or also referred to as the KA33 for Kawasaki, YH55 or YM64, however you refer to it. And that's going to be the one with the magnetic ignition lock. They also released one for Azeti and Aprilia. I think they call it ZD24R. And then there was one for KMT, KMT1. So that's a new offering. That's a high security on that KMT as well.
What's KMT, JB?
It's the acronym for that motorcycle, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head. So there's that few percent that you claim I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure if you weren't on camera, you'd know it, but no pressure.
Perhaps.
JB, can you tell us what it was like before Lishi Picks, and what Lishi Picks have done to kind of change the lock picking game?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, before the invention of these tools, if you wanted to create a key for a lock, you would either have to impression the lock, or you would actually have to remove it from the vehicle and probably remove the face cap and completely disassemble it. Lots of labor and very time consuming, of course. And also, difficult on your hands, your arms, you're getting cut up pulling these lock cylinders out. And now with these tools, you just lubricate the lock, clear them from debris, insert it into the lock cylinder, pick it and decode it, and you don't have to remove any of these locks from any of these vehicles.
Wow. So, if you talk about ROI, return on investment, if you're going to invest in a few tools, a locksmith's going to invest in a few tools, obviously we said there's about 100 SKUs, right? You don't need all 100 right away. But, what can a locksmith expect if he's going to invest in some of the common tools?
Really, you can have a return on your investment on the first job that you do with one of these tools. Let's say you have a key origination for whatever vehicle. You buy the Lishi tool, you practice with it, and you use it on this vehicle. Those tools are relatively inexpensive. Most of them are $39 to $49, some a little bit more expensive. But after the cost of that job to your customer, you should have a return on investment. And also, if you look at it, for those of you who currently use key codes, the cost of the key code can be anywhere from $15 to $75, depending on manufacturer, and then how long it takes you to retrieve that key code through your NASTAF membership. Once you get a little bit of proficiency with these tools, you can find that you can decode that lock with the Lishi tool and cut yourself a working key quicker than you can buy a key code and then cut the working key. And there's a cost savings there and a time savings, which for those of us in the automotive locksmithing industry, that's a big deal, saving time.
And speaking of time, JB, how long does it take to actually functionally decode a lock?
Well, once you practice with these tools a little bit, you can decode a lock in just a couple of minutes. I mean, literally from inserting the tool, picking the lock, decoding it, going to your van and cutting a test key. After you've done a few of these, especially on a standard security, 3 or 4 minutes at the most to have a working test key. Now, you sure still have to cut your transponder key and program it most likely, but just a few minutes and you can have a working key.
Absolutely. For any of those folks who came to our trade show in New York last September or who came to our trade show in Portland in October, we actually had Lishy picking tournaments. And our champions, if Fuzzy Goldberg's watching, shout out to our inaugural Lishy pick champion, but they all do
He's
it
a local
in
guy.
well under a minute. Local guy.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Yeah.
So it's all well under a minute. So these things are very, very fast. And like JB was saying, time is money.
Yeah,
Definitely.
JB, getting back to that ROI, what are some of the top tools you would recommend that a locksmith buy first if he's just going to get into it and wants to start practicing? What are some of those key ways that he should focus on?
Yeah, of course. So every market's going to be different, but for the most part, you can assume that your domestic vehicles are going to be popular in every market. So if you get the CY24, which is the Y159 keyway for Chrysler Dodge Jeep, and you get the FO38, which is the H75 keyway for the Ford Lincoln Mercury vehicles, and you get the GM39, which is the B102 for the GM vehicles, the B111, which is the B106 keyway for GM vehicles. And then if you add in a couple of high security, so HU100 8-cut and 10-cut, both GM, HU101 Ford, and then you could branch out from there. I'd also recommend the NSN14, which is the Nissan Lishy for DA34 keyway. Those are really going to be a good staple in your market. And once you gain some proficiency with the tools and branch out from there, then you see your market. And if you've got Mitsubishi or you've got Toyota or Honda or Kia, whichever, then you purchase the tools for those vehicles that you're going to see most often. Sean made a good point. You don't need to rush out and buy all 100 SKUs. If you can afford to do that, great. But if you can't, buy the tools for the vehicles that are in your market, make your ROI, and then reinvest in additional tooling for your company. All you're doing is investing in your future.
I'd like to interject there as a salesman and a sales manager. Please go out and buy all the Lishy tools you can find. Put a deposit for future Lishy tools that are coming out. Just buy all the Lishy tools. No, all joking aside, the tools that we're talking about, for those of you that don't know, I mean, they're starting around $40. They go, we have $50, $60 Lishy picks. They're not expensive. And as JB said, your return on investment is going to be on job one most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's a time savings and it's cost effective, it's quick to do, like in actual practice. The last question we should talk about, JB, is how easy is it to learn these tools? What are the best way to go about learning these tools? I know you have some booth action going on over there, so maybe just tell us the best ways to learn.
Yeah, for sure. So, really the best way to learn is in a classroom setting, and we do offer classes where we can teach you guys in a group, guys and gals. That's a really great way to learn. We're also experimenting with the idea of teaching Lishy virtually, which we hope to be able to offer to you guys as well. But really, practice is the key. Getting a lock cylinder, getting the Lishy tool, understanding how the tool works in the lock cylinder. I think if you guys and gals stop by the booth today, the Lishy booth that I'm going to be in when I finish here, you can see some live demonstrations. I think you could get some good basics and start to pick them up and learn a little bit. And then the first opportunity you have to take a class, I think that would just really solidify what you're doing there.
Yeah, when we teach the live classes, the Lishy one's usually the first one to sell out. When we were going to have our trade show in Houston this year that got canceled out, we had 4 Lishy classes, I believe, and they were all sold out or close to it. Within a day or two. This is the most popular class that we teach, one of them anyway. But yeah, like JB said, stop by the booth, get a little bit of information, and then they'll be doing live classes again in the future. What kind of activity do you have going on in the booth, JB? Have you been able to are you doing any kind of demos at all in the booth?
Yeah, absolutely. I have my webcam, and then I also have a desk cam, and I have a Lishy Vice set up. So I have multiple locks, multiple tools, and I've been displaying them as the customers have been asking for them. We're having some really great interaction there in the booth. I had a couple of the guys even say that they've kind of been in some of the other booths, and they seem to think that we had probably the most people in there. I know just before I came over to this, we had 48 folks in the booth there that we were interacting with.
Yeah.
Wow. It's funny. I want to bring up an anecdote. I talked about it this morning. So to prove how good the leashies are, when I got locked out of the building this morning and I had to call one of my locksmith buddies, he got in with a leashie in about 2 minutes. So, just a nice little anecdote to prove how useful they are.
Make Mr. Lee proud.
Yeah, that was Brian Thomas, JB. You know him.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Do either of you have anything else to add on the Lishi topic before we move on?
One thing that I did see, I just saw advertisement that came by Facebook. Mr. Lee has just introduced the Schlage C123 pick, which is really, really cool. If you're not familiar with that, that's going to be Schlage Everest C123 keyway. So they're the ones that have some finger pins on the side as well as the standard pins. And so he's now developed a tool for C123. So I'd assume that we'll see tools in all the other Everest lines, C123, 124, 125, and I would assume the S Everest lines as well too.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
That's great. We'll be sure to get those on order so that locksmiths can pre-order them with either HL Flake, H.E. Mitchell, or International Key Supply.
Perfect.
We
Don't
do have
forget
specials
McDonald
on the
Dash.
Lishi and McDonald Dash.
And McDonald Dash, thank you.
You're welcome.
We do have specials on the Lishi line right now. So if you want to go over to the sales and support section, talk to one of your sales reps there at minimum 10% off. If you want to buy a lot, like I recommend that you do, you want to buy them all, we'll make you a slightly better deal. Just talk to us. All right. Moving on from Lishi, we're going to talk about X-Horse right now, JB. You're an expert in that. X-Horse is a unique line in that it's not as straightforward as it seems. It can do a lot more than I think what we advertise, because they don't really tell you exactly what they can do, but it can do a lot. So for people who may not know about the X-Horse line, explain some of the benefits and some of the things that they can do.
Sure. The product offering from the company X-Horse is very broad, like what you say. Everywhere from a universal remote all the way up to key cutting machines to key programmers that are specialized, including Volkswagen Audi Group vehicle key programming, BMW key programming, Mercedes-Benz IR key programming, and really everywhere in between. And you talk about the key machines, they range from manual standard security duplicators all the way up to computerized, high security universal type code cutting machines, even to battery operated key machines that are portable, that can be carried around with you. And there is so many offerings by this manufacturer. And really, you're right, a good job isn't done from the manufacturer of disseminating the information of everything that they can offer, which is where we come in, and we try to keep the customers informed with these products as they come out. But transponder reading and cloning devices, pretty much everything that you would need in the locksmith industry, with the exception of these Lishi tools for decoding the door locks and some basic keys.
And we'll see what the future has. But how easy is this product line to use?
The X-Horse product line, the learning curve is not very steep. I teach some classes and I use the X-Horse, the VVDI MB key programming tool. I don't think I've ever had a student go away that felt like it was too complicated, they couldn't handle it. Their key machines, the applications like for the Dolphin, for example, on a smartphone or on the Key Tool Max, they're pretty intuitive, pretty easy to use and to follow. They're really coming on really, really strong. And so I don't find a steep learning curve with any of their product.
Yeah, I mean, I could second that. This morning, I'm manning the X-Horse booth when I'm not here. And this morning I unboxed a Dolphin, and I was able to make 4 how-to videos within an hour of unboxing it. Got it paired to the phone, recorded some videos, and got them uploaded to the internet. So it was like that simple to get the machine up and running, calibrated, and working. So it was pretty amazing.
It's a versatile line of tools. Again, underrepresented on what we know of that they can do. But if you have a tool and you have some automotive knowledge, these things can do a lot more than we advertise. I mean, like JB was saying, they got cloners, they got programming, they got EEPROM, they got emulators, they got key cutting machines, duplicators, and originators. So they have a vast line, easy enough to use, very cost-effective line. So a lot of positives there. JB, what is your, maybe what's one of their most unique or what's your favorite tool that they have?
Okay, so currently it's probably going to be split between 2 tools. The Key Tool Max, I'm really liking that tool right now. I use it a lot. So you have the ability to read and clone transponders. You have the ability to configure their universal remotes. You can test the ignition coil on vehicles, which is really important. You can test the signal for remotes. And then you could also take this tool and you can control other X-Horse devices, like Sean mentioned the Dolphin, and so do I. If you don't know this machine, it is a battery operated key cutting machine. You can cut high security and standard security keys. It only weighs about 19 pounds, and the battery life on it is very good. You know, for a lot of reasons, it's very handy. But for a guy like me who drives a high roof van, I find myself, when I can't get into a parking garage, just grabbing that Dolphin key machine and my Key Tool Max and a couple of key blanks and a Lishi, and I can go in a parking garage. Or if something happens, for example, I had a circumstance where it was quicker for me to use my own personal vehicle than it was to use my locksmith vehicle. So with the customer's permission, I just grabbed the Dolphin and a Key Tool Max from my shop, a couple of key blanks and a Lishi, ran out there, made the key for them, saved them some time, saved me some time. And without that battery operated key machine that's portable like that, I would have never been able to do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fantastic, versatile.
exactly what that machine is made for. JB, we got Chad from Autel coming on soon.
Oh, excellent.
Want to thank you for your time. You know, for everybody that's out there, go check out JB at the Lishi booth. JB is also our X-Horse, one of our X-Horse experts. So after the show, if you want to contact him to ask more questions, he's available.
Sure.
But yeah, JB, it's awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure, guys.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to kind of address everyone in this format. Again, meet me in the Lishi booth if you'd like to learn a little bit more and enjoy what Chad has to share with you today. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, JB. So CS, I think we got Chad coming on in a few minutes here. Any other cool stuff you've seen around the show?
You know, the thing that's coolest to me is seeing how much people are interacting. So there, I mean, there's products that I think are very cool, but the excitement and the interaction level I'm seeing in each booth, this being the first show that we've done, I wasn't expecting that much, but I think people like it. I mean, have you seen the same thing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, in the X-Horse booth a few minutes ago, you know, one of the reasons I love going to trade shows is you get tidbits, or we get tidbits from the customers of things they tell us that will make their job easier. And, you know, specifically about X-Horse, we had a customer ask, hey, what does the universal prox fit? And he said, is there a reference somewhere? And I said, oh, well, we have it on the website. But he had the good idea of, let's make a spreadsheet and we'll make a Google sheet and we'll share it on the internet where all the customers can view it. So when they, you know, aren't sure, when they have a car that they're not sure if they can do it or not, they can just access that spreadsheet and see if they have the ability. So that's like one of the tidbits that I got today, you know, out of a virtual trade show that normally we would get out of a, you know, regular in-person trade show.
Yeah. And that's one cool thing, product that we didn't cover with JB, but the X-Horse has universal remotes and universal proxies, and universal does mean universal in most cases. But like I said, the X-Horse line, not as clear as it could be, but a very versatile line. And if you guys ever have any more questions, you can always ask our reps or come back and ask JB. He's with us 24/7 basically. So if there's a question we can't answer, we could always reach out to JB and he'll give us that answer. Again, between us and JB, we know everything. It's just a 90-10 split. So do we have Chad yet? Chad knows a bunch of stuff.
He knows some things. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey Chad.
Hey Chad. How's everything going today,
The booth space
Chad?
has been phenomenal today. We have had so many people come in, so much conversation. This has been such a great show.
Good. Glad to hear it.
That's great to hear. Chad, you're from Autel. You know, Autel is relatively new to the locksmith space. You know, you guys have been around a long time in diagnostic. Can you kind of tell everybody out there that maybe doesn't know that much about you, what is Autel?
Absolutely. And Autel, like you said, is new to the key programming side, but we've been doing diagnostics for over 10 years now. And we started seeing the correlation between the diagnostic side and the key programming side and how the two sides really work together. So we are, I would say, about 2.5 years into the key programming side, and we have been able to offer the techsmiths, the locksmiths in the industry more than our competitors have been because of our diagnostic side. We're able to go directly to the customer and scan their vehicle. We're able to give them a pre-scan, post-scan report, figure out why the key is not programming, and cut the key for them at the same time with the Autel tools. So we have come a long way in a short period of time, and we have a great offering for our locksmiths in the industry to be able to cut those keys with the Autel tools.
That's great, Chad. Hey guys, I just want to let the audience know that we do have some feedback coming through Chad's mic. So it's not your computers, but we'll talk through it. And you know, there's a lot Chad has to say, so I want us to all hear it. But it's not your computers, it's us. But not really a big deal. So Chad, you know, you talked about the diagnostic and you talked about the locksmith tools. What are the locksmith tools that you make?
So we have two different platforms for the locksmith industry, and that starts with the IM508. So the IM508 is our entry-level key programming tool, and this is going to focus on the Asian and domestic side of the industry, but it also gives us the ability to do read and clear codes of all modules, live data and graphing, and some basic service functions if we need it. We also have the IM608. So the IM608 is going to be our premium tool. This is going to offer our customers the full diagnostics, being able to read and clear codes, live data, graphing, coding, initialization, module, and memory resets, along with bin writes. Complete key programming, including our Asian, domestic, and European coverage. And it does also come with a J2534 device. So we have all three of those packed into one tool. But we also have accessories. If you want to be able to expand what you do, we have accessories like the G-Box 2 that can take our calculation for Mercedes cars from 45 minutes to 10 minutes. Or we have the APB112. This is a Toyota key emulator that if you have all keys lost on a Toyota, we can emulate that key as a master key so you can add more keys to that car without having to start from zero. And our newest addition is the Key Programming Accessory Kit. This is an accessory kit that can be added to the XP400 Pro to add even more functions, even more features, and more chipsets to give you more EEPROM functionality. So all of this can be combined into one tool to give you even more functions and features.
That's great. So that's the IM608, but you guys make another tool called the IM508 as well, right? Can you tell us about that tool and what the difference is between the 608 and the 508?
Absolutely. So the IM508 is a little bit smaller tablet. So this is going to be our Asian and domestic vehicles. This one also has the ability to do basic diagnostics. So we can go in and scan all modules in that car, even before we cut a key for it. We are seeing so many times in the industry that we can cut a key and try and program that key and it still doesn't work. Why? Well, with the IM508, we can go in and scan all those modules, see if there are any codes, see if there's anything conflicting that would keep our securities from being programmed to that vehicle. So the IM508 is a great entry-level tool to be able to do those vehicles. And it can be expanded to be able to add European coverage to it as well.
That's great. Awesome. Yeah, there's always you know, I have a little anecdote that I always tell people about this tool is, you know, I was testing some Volkswagen keys that we were making on one of our employees' cars. And I'm sure a lot of locksmiths have had this happen. You program the key to a Volkswagen and everything works, key works, car starts, it's all good. You turn the car off, but you have a check engine light or a service light and it just will not go away. And that happened to me. It was my employee's car, so it wasn't the end of the world, but I wanted to make sure it went away. I was able to plug in with the IM508 and clear that code within a matter of minutes, where no other tool I had in my inventory was able to do that. So that's one of the little tidbits that I like to tell people, or examples of how and why this tool is good. So Chad, can you tell us some of the latest developments that you guys are working on over there?
So we are constantly and always evolving, always adding more and more features and benefits to the vehicles. We update our tool almost weekly and trying to give you not only the latest and greatest coverage, but also starting to fill in some of those older vehicles as well. We've just released a Toyota update for some of the older vehicles. We've just released a Chrysler update to do some of the Pacifica models. We've just released multiple Volkswagen coverage to be able to expand even more and more Volkswagen coverage. So as far as what's already been released, it's pretty amazing. But there's more. We're actually working on beta software right now for brand new Toyotas like 19 and 20, Toyota RAV4s, Corollas, and more. We are working on brand new Subarus, 19s and 20s, and we're working on Mitsubishi. So we are keeping the engineering team busy, keeping them moving forward, And all this coverage is based on the feedback that we're getting from the field. The locksmiths are telling us, hey, this is what we need, and that's what we focus on. We want to make sure that we give the locksmiths in the industry what they're looking for. We want to engineer to the most popular, and we've been doing that.
And
Yeah,
Chad,
it's
I
great.
mean,
We
you
get a
touched
lot
on
of.
a few things. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, no, I was going to say we get a lot of requests about those newer Toyotas. So glad to hear you're working on that. You know, I'm lucky enough to be just a few blocks away from the Autel office. A lot of people probably don't know that. Our offices are literally 2 or 3 blocks away. So sometimes your engineers come here and pick up some parts to do some testing. So I get a little sneak peek sometimes of what's going on. But, you know, talking about engineers, can you tell us about how many engineers you guys have working on the tools?
We know that this is a growing industry. And when we started out, we didn't know how many engineering team we would need. Right now, we're exceeding over 40 engineers in our headquarters that are just devoted and focused on key programming. And out of those 40 engineers, it's not the idea of everyone works on everything. No, because there's so many different styles of systems. These engineers are dedicated to a manufacturer. So we have engineers for just Ford. We have engineers for Chrysler. We have engineers for Mitsubishi. We have engineers for all these different lines. And that's the world we live in. They only focus on those cars. They only focus on those security systems. And they know they're inside and out. And our engineering team is expanding every month. So right now, 40, tomorrow, maybe even more.
That's great. So yes, you had a question you wanted to ask, Chad?
I did. You stole one of them, but that's okay. I've been cutting you off the whole show. It's only fair. But Chad, I wanted to go back and talk about one of the new tools you came out with. You guys have the IM508. You have the IM608. You recently came out with the IM608 Pro. We got a lot of calls from people who had just got the IM608 or got it recently, and then they see this new tool coming out. Could you explain briefly the differences between the IM608 and the 608 Pro?
Absolutely. And that's been a question that we get a lot on our tech support line as well. So just so you know, if you recently purchased an IM608, it's okay. It's not going anywhere. It's still a supported tool. And actually, the tablet between the IM608 and the IM608 Pro, they're exactly the same. Really, the difference is in the XP400. We have enhanced that. The XP400 has now become the XP400 Pro. And that gives us a lot more functionality, a lot more features, and a lot more capabilities when it comes to our coverage and to our EEPROM. So when we look at the XP400, it actually looks the same as the XP400 Pro, but it's all the insides that make the difference. So we have enhanced all the circuitry. We have made it a broader platform for testing components and circuits. We've also made it a broader platform for our BMW and Mercedes coverage. So now you have even more coverage with that. And a much more stable platform when we're talking about infrared keys on our Mercedes products as well. But it's okay, if you already have an IM608 and you want to add the Pro features, you can do that. You can upgrade your IM608 to become a Pro just by adding the XP400 Pro. And that will give you all the features and benefits that you want in that new Pro line. But in addition to that, when you have the XP400 Pro, you can also add the key programming accessory set we talked about earlier. So you must have the XP400 Pro, and you can add the IM KPA set to that as well. But if you're a proud owner of an IM508, you can get those functions as well. You can add the XP400 Pro to your IM508 to get all that coverage also. So we didn't leave you behind. You didn't make a bad purchase. You can upgrade your tool later on down the road if you want to add that extra coverage if you need it.
And Chad, is the XP400 Pro, is that going to be future proof or future built? So you're going to expand as time goes on, and as long as they have the XP400 Pro, they might be able to get some of these new benefits or some of your new features?
Absolutely. With this hardware upgrade, we're going to continue to advance and be able to add more coverage. There is a huge list to that we still need to engineer, and we have engineered this box to cover that list. So yes, more and more coverage is going to come out using the XP400 Pro functionality. Absolutely.
Beautiful. And then another sales question, we get this call a lot. If somebody, because right now we have great deals on the IM608 Pro, the 508, and then the whole kit. So if somebody wanted to buy a new kit right now, they can. We have a great deal on it. Check out the sales and support tab over there. But there's some people who have asked that if they have an old tool like an IM608 and they have the accessories for their old tool, can the accessories be used on another device? Let's say they sell it to someone that has an IM508, or maybe they have an IM508 and they want to use their XP400 on their IM508. Is it possible to transfer accessories to new tools?
Absolutely. So the example you gave is I already own an IM608 and I want to upgrade that to the Pro. You can take that XP400 and move that to your IM508 to give it that extra coverage. So absolutely, this tool is not married to a device. It can be sold or used or transferred to another device to be able to upgrade that device as well to give it more coverage. So if you already have the XP400, absolutely, transfer that to your IM508 and use that for the extra European coverage it can add.
Okay, and while I'm already taking up all the traffic, I'm going to step in front of Sean here and go back to one more thing with communication with the customers that you talked about. You're listening to your customers. I know you guys have a data logging feature. How important, you guys really stepped that up lately. How important is that communication with the end user for your development?
Absolutely. We don't know it all, and we're not perfect. My wife says I'm perfect, and she's right, but our engineers aren't perfect. So if we make a mistake, we want to know about it. And we also want to know if it doesn't work or what you're looking for. And that data log feature is built into our tools. And that feedback goes directly to the engineering team. You're not working through a salesman. You're going to go directly to the engineering team so they can see what you're talking about. So if we look at the tools up in the top right corner, there's a little text box that has 3 dots in it. That's our data log function. So if you have a function that is not working or not working the way you think it should or is missing, you can select that data log function, type us a message, take screenshots, take pictures of the car, the keys, of the VIN number, any information you need to get to the engineering team. You can send that to us and they will respond to you. And most of the time, it's a pretty quick response. We can say, hey, we didn't know that was broken. Try this software. Let me know if it works. And we can send that directly to the tool. They can beta test it for us. If it works, we release it to the rest of the world. Or if it's a suggestion, we can take that suggestion, compile those, and that may come out in a new release. So we want to know the information from the field. We want to know what your thoughts are, what your opinions are, what's working, what's not working. And that is a great feature to get direct access to an engineer to work out those issues.
Beautiful. I know the people appreciate that. And just real quick, Chad, we're coming up on a break here, so we're going to let you go here soon. Sean or Chad, did you want to add anything else on the Autel line of tools before we take off?
Chad, I wanted to ask you one more thing just to clear it up for the customers. If you take that XP400 and you add it to the IM508, does that give you the ability with the IM508 to do Mercedes keys?
Yes, absolutely. So whenever we add that XP400 or XP400 Pro to the IM508, yes, you can do Mercedes keys with an IM508. And that also gives you the expanded functionality to be able to do BMWs and EEPROM work from the IM508. That XP400 really is the secret sauce.
That's great. Thank you, Chad.
Perfect, Chad. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Make sure you come and join me in the booth. It has been a great discussion. I have one of my guys from tech support there as well. So come over, join us, ask any questions you may have.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. All right, we're going to send it off to one of our last commercial breaks, and we'll see you here in just a few minutes.
You already know us as
HL Flake in Houston, Texas.
International Key Supply in New York.
McDonald Dash in Memphis, Tennessee.
H.E. Mitchell, Portland.
HL Flake in Jacksonville, Florida.
We are Security Pro Supply.
All of our brand names will continue to actively be used, bringing these great companies together under the SPS parent brand allows us to clearly communicate our unified mission, which is to help security professionals be successful. Combining these businesses, we are better together.
The benefits of HL Flake and International Key Supply merging are many. We're going to have the widest selection of security products in stock, including over 45,000 SKUs in our warehouses and access to millions of items across our manufacturer network. Between all of our branches, we have experts in automotive, commercial, safe, lock picking, and really every aspect of the locksmith trade.
In the coming months, we will be launching a new website, we will be launching a new warehouse management system, and unifying the phone systems to answer any security-related questions you may have. Combining these businesses
We are better together.
Remember this?
Master Lock model number 15 did not open.
Master Lock padlocks were tough back then. The new Master Lock Magnum is the next generation of tough. Just try and open one. Even after multiple hits with an 11-pound sledgehammer, Magnum still holds on. Chances are you'll give out before it does. Oh, and it still takes a bullet. Master Lock Magnum, what tough is today.
Stop sharing germs at the touch of every door. Retail facilities, including restaurants, banks, and department stores, can easily upgrade swing doors to open with a simple hand motion, using a Norton low-energy door operator and wave to open switch. For automated lock control, add electric strikes from HES or Adams Rite. From your main doors to the bathrooms, Norton touchless door opening solutions are ideal for a variety of single and double door openings, from entrance to exit.
Welcome back, everyone, with one of our final prize reminders of today's event. If you haven't made it to the expo area yet to go visit some booths, do so now. Every booth that you visit for 5 minutes makes you eligible for that booth's prize. Every booth is giving away a prize between $200 and $500. Spend 5 minutes there and you have a ticket entered to win that prize. For every $100 you spend with that booth between now and next Friday, October 2nd, you also get an extra entry for that booth's prize. Now, our golden ticket prize is the Futura Auto from Ilco. It's a $3,800 value. Just for being here today and logging into this event, you're automatically entered to win. Every other $500 you spend on Ilco or Advanced Diagnostic products between now and October 2nd, you get an extra entry into the prize. Also, any $500 you spend with any SPS group between September 21st and October 2nd, you get an extra entry for that prize. And lastly, our platinum prize is a $5,000 store credit to either HL Flake or International Key Supply. The only way to be eligible for that prize is to visit at least 20 booths for 5 minutes each. If you haven't done so yet, you still have about an hour or so to do it. Click into the expo area on the left-hand side of your screen and just visit 20 booths for 5 minutes each, and then you're eligible for $5,000.
Right.
The prize giveaway is going to be October 9th. So you have until now, and you have from now until October 2nd to get in any extra orders that you want. And then on October 9th, we're going to do a drawing for all the prizes. The reason we did it that way is because we wanted you to be able to enjoy yourself today and not have to worry about rushing in orders. So you have a full week. You do not need to be present during the live drawing to win a prize.
Is
If
Jim
you're
already ready?
eligible, we'll just announce you after the fact. Now we're going to go to Houston now, and we're going to talk to Alex and Mark and some other folks in Houston, good people, and they're going to take us out through the rest of the show.
Thanks, CS. So now we're going to be talking about key systems and some of the different offerings that we have. So we have everything from the most basic and economical systems from like a GMS platform, like an MX series, to some very restricted and secure key systems from the likes of Medico, even some of the electronic key systems like their intelligent key. We've got somebody from Medico ready for us. He's going to be talking about what they're doing and what they've been bringing out this year. And we've got Jim Pelt ready to go. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. So this is our key system segment. Who better to have than Medico to talk about key systems? I mean, probably the first brand you think of whenever you think of a restricted key or restricted high security type things, you think of Medico. So
yeah, we've been in the industry over 50 years. So, being that market leader really does have a lot of brand recognition out there. So we're really proud of what we've offered and, some of the innovations that we've come up with over the last few years.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you guys have done in 2020 to kind of adapt with, everything that's going on?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a strange year for all of us. Obviously, what we're doing here right now, it's just a different way of doing things. We had to really take a step back. We used to be a lot of hands-on support, a lot of hands-on training. We used to require our customers to get signatures for documents. All of that now we've brought and made it electronic, made it simpler for everyone. We're doing virtual trainings, virtual professional services. And it's really, it's a different way of doing things, but we've been quite successful in the last couple of months. And hopefully we can get through this all together and come out on the other side and be able to use some of these tools in our day-to-day business moving forward.
So you mentioned the virtual training. How does a security professional or a locksmith go about setting something like that up? If they don't have, maybe they don't know who their local representative is for Medico, how would somebody go about wanting to learn and possibly buy into a Medico key system?
Oh, absolutely. One thing is we have a lot of tools online where you can actually create your own key systems. We have a white paper to walk you through it, but we also have specialists that are dedicated to Medico. They're located across the country, and we also do trainings online on a regular basis. But we also utilize the ASSA ABLOY sales force. So we do have local representation all over the country. We are doing some visits, but it's very, very limited right now. But yeah, absolutely. They can reach out off of our website, request information, fill out we have a white paper on key systems, and someone would follow up with you and obviously walk you through a full online training.
So, when you look at restricted key systems, what separates Medico from everyone else? A lot of different options out there, all different types of price points. Why would somebody say, I'm going to go with Medico, that's who I want to go with, I'm going to lead with them, and that's what I'm going to, quote and bid for my customer?
I might take a long way around that. I'm going to answer it probably in a minute, but I've been in the industry over 25 years. My background's really electronics. One of the reasons I came to Medico is their innovation that you've seen in the past year or so. Some of the products that they're coming out with, the intelligent keys that you talked a little bit about before. But I think that's where Medico separates itself. We're known as the high security company out there. We're known for having a massive amount of keyways and a large plethora of product. But we go all the way from a alphabet keyway all the way up to electronic intelligent keys that can do audit trails. So I think that's really what separates us. We can fit in everything from your front door to your cabinet, We're now doing traffic locks. We do cabinet, medical facilities. It's all across the board. So when you go with Medico, you know that pretty much everything in your facility can be taken care of by one key and one cylinder provider.
So we've both kind of mentioned intelligent key systems. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? That is a very interesting segment, and the ability to be able to have access control and an audit trail in a cylinder is very unique, and and the right application can be used, or has many different applications you can use it on. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on the intelligent key systems?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you brought it up, there's two things that were out in the market in the past. We had a mechanical key system where you gave someone a key, they could access that lock anytime they wanted. You didn't know when they came, when they left. And then you went all the way to the extreme of having online access control, where you had to spend the money to buy a software program, wire out to the door. Recently, they came out with wireless, but there's still that huge gap between a mechanical cylinder and a full-fledged access control online solution. What Medico has done is they actually created two separate products, and we call them both, in general, intelligent keys. We start out with the Click technology. What the Click is, it's a mechanical key that can work in every one of your cylinders today, but we added intelligence on it. So if there's a cylinder that you would like to restrict access to on a regular basis, if you'd like to have an audit trail on, we can do that with this key. So it works across both of those. So you're getting some offline audit trails. We can put time zones on there and we can track it, but we can also do that within the cylinder, within the door. We have another product called XT. That is a complete electronic key solution. The advantage to that is we no longer have to worry about the cylinder with the key. You don't, when you want to change out access rights, it's like changing an online solution where you go out and you can change the XT key fob to allow you to access any door when you want it, and again, having that audit trail. So it's really takes you to that next level and bridges the gap between it. We've actually seen such an interest from access control companies that they have now started software integration to a lot of these products. So you're going to see this year alone, Genetec, Software House, Linnell, some of the other bigger players will be coming later in the year and into 2021, but they saw where there was that difference between, where they can't get out to those cylinders. This now allows them to get another probably 25% of the building that they weren't touching before, because it's literally popping a cylinder out, putting a cylinder in its place, and now you can control it and have audit.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Hey, Jim, I really appreciate you coming on with us and talking about what Medico's doing. Make sure everybody, you go by the Medico booth in the main expo area. They got a lot of interesting products out there for you to look at and learn about. Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. So now we're going to be bringing on Chad Lingefelt from Lock.Dot Security. He's going to be talking about a product that they're announcing today. So hey, Chad, what's going on?
Yeah, how you doing, here, sir?
Getting through the day, having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
We're just hanging out in here drinking coffee, so it's pretty exciting.
You guys and your coffee, that is very strong coffee in that office. I can vouch for that. I had a couple of cups. When I left there, I was so jittery. I was like, what did they do to my coffee? I can't believe it.
Well, this is the problem, Alex. You just have to up your coffee amount on a regular basis, and then it'll level it out over time. So, but I'm about on my cup 4 for today, because I thought it would be a great idea to stand up for the entire trade show, and apparently that was a really bad idea. But we're making it through. We're having a blast over in our booth. It's been really, really cool.
All right, so why don't you talk about what you guys were going to be announcing and bringing out?
Yeah, most definitely. So one of the big things that we have found over the years, the story I've been sharing in our booth is I got started in this industry in 2004, and I was handed a big file folder full of key records, and it was like, try to figure this out. And the way that we maintained our key records back then was solely focused on paper. So we would write down our key records and then We had 3 people in the business at the time, and so we would copy those or fax the copies across to try to maintain up-to-date key records. And it was a struggle for us because most of the time they were not maintained and up-to-date. And so we said, hey, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so since 2007, we've been keeping track of our key records in a digital format, which has been really beneficial for the growth of our business. Now, flip that over. Earlier, about a year and a half ago, we crafted a division out of our organization called the Lab at LockDoc Security. And we focus on a couple of different things there. But one of the things that we're focused on is creating tools to help people grow their business. And one of those tools that we have created is a piece of software called OMS. It's the Opening Management System. And this is one of the what I believe is a foundational component of any locksmith business. From 1 to 100, it's a scalable solution that's going to give you the ability to get in and basically provide your customers with a better experience. And the reason for that is we do it in 3 things. We cover 3 different categories. Number 1 is the locations or the facilities that you serve. We manage that. Number 2, we manage the openings that are inside of those locations or facilities that you serve. And then number 3, we generate and maintain master key systems for the openings inside the facilities that you serve. So that's what we're announcing today is our opening management system. And we've had a lot of great questions in our booth about it. Alex, I can show you a little bit about it if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, so really quick, one of the things that we focused on when we developed this software is that it needed to be mobile first. We realized that, as we have our technicians in the field, they all use their mobile device, and we have over time had laptops in the vans. Was not a really good experience because they come back with screens that are disconnected and all kinds of other problems. Then we went to tablets and iPads, and then every time the batteries were dead or couldn't get connection or whatever. So we just simplified down to mobile devices, just to phones. And so we wanted to make this software something that is mobile focused, that you don't have to worry about downloading an app. You don't have to worry about installing software, and you don't have to worry about paying for upgrades or updates. It's just always the latest version. So it's a subscription-based service that you log into, and it's a couple of factors that we have taken the limits off of. 1, unlimited users. So it's a company account that you pay for, and you can create unlimited users for your company account. Unlimited locations. So you can have as many locations as you want, unlimited openings, and unlimited master key systems. So here's just an example, and I'm using this on a Chrome device so that you can see it here. But this particular instance is got several different locations, and we've just been adding locations in all day as we've been talking with people in our booth. But one of the ones I wanted to show real quick is the chocolate drip lane, chocolate drip circle. So in here we've got multiple. Can you see these openings on here, Alex?
I can kind of make them out a little bit, but I'll let you explain what they are. I mean, we've all been in the business. We know what locks look like.
We know what openings are, right? So
Yeah.
we've got a list of all these openings on here, and we can take and upload a picture in the field from your mobile device and attach it, an inside and outside picture. So here's one of the yellow doors that we've been showing, but we can see this information. And one of the cool things with this is you can zoom in very quickly and see the status of this. So this one here says no bidding. So there's no key records associated with it. But as we scroll through here, we can start to see that there's no biddings on any of them. So again, a major function of this is generating a master key system. So to do that, we just simply go up here to the bidding tab, and we can quickly jump in here and create a master key system. And then we'll just kind of create a random generator. So we have random generations for the Great Grandmaster Key, the rotation, the key bidding array, and we hit create. And this is, again, all on the web. It's all mobile. It's all in the field, right? So I'm a technician. I'm in the field. I just created a full-on master key system from my mobile device. I've got all of my page masters. I can jump in here and see my row masters. I can see my block masters. All of this information is here. Now, I'm in the field, I'm a technician, and I need to assign a key record. So I can say, hey, here's ABO2, and I want to put ABO2 on the VHS tapes and more office, and also on D's office. And then I hit save, and all of a sudden, I have 2 openings attached here, and I know it's kind of blurry on there, but you can see there's also color designations here. So I've got green is available, dark blue is in use, and then there's also a grayed out section for those that are discarded. So you can have a visual depiction of your master key system as well as management of that. Some of the cool things are we're going to continue to be adding features. So right now we're base level with locations, openings, and master key system management, but we have some other additional features that we're going to be building in over time based off of our customer feedback and customer demand. This is something that we're utilizing in our business, and we believe that it could be beneficial for all locksmiths across the country. And so we're excited to be able to launch this today on the Security Pro virtual trade show. It's very, very fun and exciting, and we've been having a blast.
Yeah, software generating a master key system software is not new, but managing and opening that's something that can really be used. Anybody who's ever taken a phone call or called the distributor to place an order, and that salesperson asks the question, "What's the function or what's the back set?" And they're like, "Wait, I don't remember. I didn't write it down. I got to go back 100 miles to figure out what it is." Like everybody's been there. Now you can manage that with this software. That's what makes this so exciting and easy to use. That the whole building can be managed and maintained, on a software on a device that makes it that much easier.
Well,
it's just
it's exciting because it gives that power back, and it gives you the ability to share that information across your entire business model and across all your technicians and all your installation teams. So it's very powerful, live, real time. It's all internet connected. So, but you can check that all out. You can come visit us in the booth. We're doing demos, and folks are asking a lot of questions.
How does the licensing work? So is it per company? Is it per user?
Yeah, that's been by far the number one question that we've had. It's by company. So if you're ABC Lock Company, you can go in and register for that, and then it's got a 14-day free trial right now, so you can get in there and actually test drive the system, create locations, create openings, create master key systems, and just kind of give it a once over, and then if you say it doesn't fit for my business model, then you can cancel it before that 14 days is over and no charge. But it is for the business, so you can add an unlimited number of employees alongside of that software.
Okay, so is it subscription based or an outright purchase?
It is a subscription model, and the reason for that is because we want to continually be bringing the latest features and functionality without having to charge for updates. So one of the things we've been telling people is, in order to get the latest version of the software, all you have to do is go up to your browser and hit the refresh button, just like that, and all of a sudden you have the latest version of the software.
That makes a lot of sense. That actually makes it a lot easier, and you start thinking about anybody who's ever purchased a master keying software in the past, they let it get behind a couple of years, and they're calling you, "Hey, I need to get an update on this. Can I order a new update?" So when it's subscription based, you don't have to worry about all that. That actually makes it so much easier. And I mean, it's not just master keying; it's a lot of other things behind it that you can do. So especially with as many openings as locksmiths see and touch, maybe now you don't have to go on that 100-mile hike to figure out what type of lock was on that door or what size device was on that.
Well, one of the interesting things is for all of us, we've figured out ways to work with it, right? So we either take pictures on our mobile device and we put them on Google Photos or wherever you store your photos, and you can go in there and find them. Maybe you did photo albums or whatever to work with it, but at some point in time it becomes unmanageable, and it's also on your device. So this gets it out of your device, it gets it on the cloud, and it gives you the ability to share that with the rest of your team in real time. So the moment Bob sends that picture up, John can see it across the campus or across the county, and so it gives you that real time collaboration.
So if somebody wants to learn more about it and get some more information, where would they, outside of visiting you in the main expo, where else could they get more information about this?
So most definitely, you got to come by the booth, because we're doing all kinds of in-depth demos in there. But you can also find out more by going to lab.locdoc.net, and you'll get to find out all the rest of the stuff that the lab is working on, including our OMS Pro model. But this OMS version that we're sharing today is the one that we're focused on in our booth. But you can find out everything we've got going on over there at lab.locdoc.net.
Great, thanks. We really appreciate it. So I know you also host a couple of weekly meetings, and I want to know if you would talk about that a little bit. I know one of them is the Business Roundtable, and then there's the other one that you manage, I think, on Wednesdays, or is it Tuesdays?
Yeah,
I'll
most
let you
definitely.
give the details.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. I didn't know you were going to ask about that. Thank you for throwing me a curveball. Those are the fun ones. So we've got two things kind of happening. One, we've been hosting some regular meetings with HL Flake on Facebook and YouTube. I think there's like 12 of those there that are just kind of business roundtable. We just kind of brainstorm over a topic with several different people in the security industry, and that's been very, very informative. Had a lot of good feedback on that. The second thing, during the beginning of the pandemic, not knowing exactly what was going to happen, actually on March 20th, I sent out a message on all of my social media that said, "Hey, I'm a business owner, and I have no clue what's about to happen. We're about to experience something that none of us have experienced in our lifetime. And I would like to sit down and have conversations with people. I'm looking for an open dialogue about how we can maintain, develop, pivot, whatever it is that you want to talk about as far as your business is related." And so out of that, we started launching a daily Zoom call, and I was overwhelmed with the response. Out of that, we developed a platform called businessmeeting.online. And it is a collaborative group of business owners that are meeting every Monday and every Wednesday at 4:00 Eastern time. And we meet anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours throughout those calls. And we talk about how to develop better business models, how to implement team benefits, how to manage your processes in your organization, marketing strategies, ways that we can share our story better. The breadth of anything that you would be concerned about for your business, we're talking about it in those calls. And all of the businesses that have been a part of that have either maintained or increased through this pandemic. And so it's been an exciting thing because we have all just been able to create a support system to say, in these situations, we don't know what to do, but collectively we can come up with a great idea and we can be better and stronger on the outside of it. So it's been a very exciting time to be able to grow. It's challenged me professionally and personally, and the folks that have been a part of it as well. So if you want to find out more about that, it's a free thing. There's no charge for that. It's businessmeeting.online, but it is a private site. So if you go there, you have to register for an account because we have a whole forum with information. We've got hundreds and hundreds of pages of notes and information that folks have shared. So you just have to register for that, but then you can have access, and we definitely invite you to join the conversation.
And I got one more question, one more curveball. What about your weekly podcast that you release? Don't forget about that one.
The Coffee Break Podcast, you can't see it on the screen here, but it's the Coffee Break Podcast. You can find out more by visiting locdoc.net/podcast. We have over 100 episodes. Alex was a guest on a certain episode number that I have no idea off the top of my head, but if you go in and search on Google for Alex and Coffee Break, it's going to come up and it'll be the first result, but you can check that out. And but we have a conversation every week. We release a brand new podcast. It's all about business ideas, practices, and strategies, real life practical information that you can apply to your business, no matter if you're one person or 100. I will say this as an asterisk, it has absolutely nothing to do with the security industry. Absolutely nothing. We bring in professionals from all over different industries. We actually most recently recorded a podcast with the owner of the Savannah Bananas, and he talks about the entire customer experience. And it's a very exciting episode that's going to be coming out very soon. And we also have had podcasts on there talking about personality types. We've talked about business coaching, all the likes, but it's all over the place, but it is all based off of business ideas, practices, and strategies.
That's great. It's a great podcast. You know, I've subscribed now for a couple of years. Yeah, I mean, you stay busy, you do great, and we really, really appreciate everything you do, Chad.
Well, I thank you very much for asking about it. I wasn't planning on talking about either of those things, but I appreciate you bringing it up, and am honored that you have us a part of this show.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So, yeah, we're going to be taking a break now. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this and you know, everything that's gone into doing this trade show. So we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll see everybody in a few minutes.
You already know us as
HL Flake in Houston, Texas.
International Key Supply in New York.
McDonald Dash in Memphis, Tennessee.
H.E. Mitchell, Portland.
H.L. Flick in Jacksonville, Florida.
We are Security Pro Supply.
All of our brand names will continue to actively be used. Bringing these great companies together under the SPS parent brand allows us to clearly communicate our unified mission, which is to help security professionals be successful. Combining these businesses, we are better together.
The benefits of HL Flake and International Key Supply merging are many. We're going to have the widest selection of security products in stock, including over 45,000 SKUs in our warehouses and access to millions of items across our manufacturing network. Between all of our branches, we have experts in automotive, commercial, safe, lock picking, and really every aspect of the locksmith trade.
In the coming months, we will be launching a new website, we will be launching a new warehouse management system, and unifying the phone systems to answer any security-related questions you may have. Combining these businesses, we are
better together.
Remember this?
The Master Lock model number 15 did not open.
Master Lock padlocks were tough back then. The new Master Lock Magnum is the next generation of tough. Just try and open one. Even after multiple hits with an 11-pound sledgehammer, Magnum still holds on. Chances are you'll give out before it does. Oh, and it still takes a bullet. Master Lock Magnum, what tough is today.
Small format interchangeable cores are used in many facilities to rapidly change out locks by simply swapping cores and keys. With literally millions of these cores already installed, the time has come to find a smarter solution to your ever-changing security needs. With smart SFIC solutions from Medico, you can now choose from 3 different levels of value and security to grow with your business. Your options range from a cost-saving solution, a patented key control alternative, and even an intelligent key option. All that fit into the SFIC hardware. These needs are present in nearly any SFIC facility. To reduce costs without compromising quality or convenience, try the Medico B solution. This allows system administrators to add keys and cores to most existing systems without having to rekey or hand out new keys. These are available in the most popular keyways used with common SFIC brands. For increased security, Medico X4 offers patent-protected key control to eliminate unauthorized duplication of keys, which may be more appropriate for installations with many or transient key holders. And for installations where higher accountability is required, Medico XT small format interchangeable core allows scheduling of access and audit trails of all activity.
I don't hear CS.
All right, you guys are going to have to take them.
What?
We can't hear him.
Yep. Going to Houston. You're up.
We're up.
All right, we're live.
Sorry about that. You know, when you do 4 hours live from 3 different locations,
Yeah.
you're bound to have small technical glitches. So
Yes.
we appreciate everyone being here. And CS was just doing a wrap on the prize reminder. Hopefully you've all had a chance to visit a number of the 40 booths. In fact, if you visited 20 for at least 5 minutes, you're eligible for the grand prize drawing. So hopefully you've enjoyed the past few hours. We really are in the home stretch at this point. And Leslie and I are kicking off a segment around healthy hardware.
That's right. We're going to bring Kevin Jensen in, and he's going to talk about Marks USA products. Kevin is our regional rep here. He's local out of Dallas area. Is that right, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We won't hold that against you.
I really appreciate that, Mark.
So Kevin is going to talk about Marks USA, their anti-ligature and healthcare solutions, which help prevent sentinel events. So Kevin, can you tell us what differentiates Marks products amongst others in the market?
Appreciate y'all for having us. We love being part of y'all's group. The main differences with Marks hardware really across the line is that the entire product line meets Buy America. The entire product line has a lifetime mechanical warranty. With regard to our cylindrical products, including our 195 SS that you see here, we have the capability to accept anyone's OEM cylinder. So we can go into a facility, you know, and accept a best cylinder or a Sargent key and knob or a Corbin IC. So you have the lifetime mechanical warranty, and then of course the price point. You know, there's across the line, there's only about those 5 things, but those are some pretty big 5 things that really makes us different than anybody else.
Right. So these are used in, you know, some healthcare facilities, as well as you mentioned, like skilled nursing homes, things like that.
Right. So I've been with Marks for about 11 years, and from the beginning of my experience with Marks, with regard to the healthcare kind of section of the product line, and more specifically, what we're talking about today here, the ligature resistant product line. You know, it just 11 years ago, it wasn't something that you heard about quite often. At that point in time, it was certainly the school security initiative, the classroom security stuff, which is still going on. And during that time, right about then, Marks really, with regard to their anti-ligature, their ligature resistant line, all they really had was a product like this here, which is just a conical knob with cylindrical and mortise. And, you know, thank you very much. And we appreciate you for thinking of us. And then just a few years later, with the broadening of that whole market scope, I guess you'd say, or that market section, and with ADA becoming certainly has been around a long time, but really becoming more of a player in that, then Marks came out with their lever design, which again we have in cylindrical mortise. Just like the other cylindrical items I talked about, it can take, you know, anybody's OEM cylinder. So that's a big player for us, available in cylindrical mortise, like I said. And then most recently, I'd say just over a year ago, where this would be your SS series. This here is the BH series. And what it is they're putting this more in more of the high risk areas. So where you'd have a product like this in common areas, you're going to have a product like this in your high risk areas, your higher risk areas like patient rooms and such. And the idea here is, of course, this is a solid handle, and it just slides up and down. And again, cylindrical mortise and all in the cylindrical product can take anybody's OEM cylinder. And so now this is becoming more of a player. When we get a call for a ligature, resistant item, we come out with both of these, and we're seeing more and more go this way.
So, Kevin, we hear the term 3-point, 5-point. What's the difference between a 3-point and a 5-point?
So, I'm not familiar with 3. I do hear multi-point. I certainly hear 5-point. And what they're talking about is points of ligature. So where someone could possibly catch something as small. The most common culprit is dental floss, because it's easy to get. It's very small, easy to conceal, it's very strong. And so what you don't want is being a ligature point, something where it could catch. And someone could wrap the floss around anything on a lock, a hinge, a bathroom partition, a sink, and then harm themselves in some way. So with regard to this product and the 5-point, they're talking about up and down being 2, left and right being 2 more, and then straight out. So from a ligature point, they're calling that a 5-point, because whether it's up, down, left, right, or straight out, there's not really any way for someone to catch a ligature point on that item.
So there's codes now that are requiring these in all these facilities.
Well,
is that correct, or depend on the area?
It's not so much code as it is joint commissions. For those of y'all out there who are familiar with joint commissions, they go by JCO as kind of a moniker. JCO is a body or an entity that's responsible for awarding accreditations to facilities, hospitals, and such. And if someone is compliant, if you will, or they pass their JCO inspection, then they get the funding, and it's a happy world. So what happens is JCO will come in and really kind of just go, hey, this whole floor needs to be ligature resistant. So that's when, of course, you have a facility clamoring and calling their locksmith and going, I got to get 24 of these. I got to get 48 of these right now. Facilities, kind of like a fire inspection, man, it doesn't matter what the fire marshal wants. What he wants, he gets. And it's kind of the same thing with joint commissions.
And Kevin, you've got a sales team throughout the country for Marks that will call directly on institutional customers, hospitals, healthcare facilities, and sharing the product or the advantages of the Marks product line. And at that point, you're referring those customers back to the market. And that really is the benefit for the locksmith community, right? Is that they're able to acquire that product for those customers through distributors like ourselves. Is that part of one of your major activities, I would think?
That's where we spend a good amount of our time. And, at least for, you mentioned I'm out of Dallas and our group is Texas based, our specific group. I hate to even use the term pre-COVID, but you kind of have to. Pre-COVID, our days were filled with walking in the back doors. When you could walk in the back door, receiving, finding the lock shop and going, hey man, do you have any psych? Would you like to look at our stuff? As soon as you get interest, we do that, and we're thankfully being able to do that more and more as things are progressing. But one of the first things you ask if you're a manufacturer's rep and you want to do the right thing is, where do you buy your stuff? And whether it's a distributor or whether it's a dealer locksmith that does all their business, man, that's where we send them. And we'll reach out and call. We usually ask, who do you work with? And we'll reach out to that locksmith dealer and go, hey man, just want to let you know I was over here. If you need a sample, if you need a presentation, cut sheets, whatever you need, we absolutely support our dealers.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Do we have any other questions? Did we miss anything?
I don't think so. I think we're about out of time, Kevin. We appreciate your support. We appreciate support from Marks USA. Terrific strategic partner for us, and hope it was a good show for you like it was for everyone else.
Man, we are so grateful for you guys. You guys have been great partners for a long time, and this has been a great event. Thank you so much for letting us be here.
All right.
Thanks for
Kevin.
being here.
Okay, y'all.
Okay, so up next.
Next up is Lloyd Rathburn. Rayforth, I'm so sorry. Lloyd, it's been a long day. So,
Yes, it has. Lloyd has.
Thanks for being with us. You know, Allegion is the platinum sponsor for the event. You had 4 booths running. This is really the third time on the main stage. Jeff, earlier, you came on, talked about Bluetooth, and now we want to talk a little bit about healthy hardware. So, you know, healthy hardware covers a lot of areas, and we were hoping you could share a little bit about the breadth of the offering that Allegion has for the market.
Sure, be happy to. And thank you, Mark and Leslie, and all of the group at Security Pro Supply for this opportunity or whatever. This it was a rather interesting experience. I know we had some challenges, but it was a wonderful thing. Out of all the few virtual shows I've done, this one actually ran smoother than any of them. So just a compliment to you guys. As far as our touchless and hands-free hardware, we're trying to stay up with the technology as well. So we have recently added a lot of different products to our line. We have a lot of what we call hands-free products in the manual side of things. So with our Ives line, we've got a lot of arm pulls, elbow pulls, foot pulls, little plastic hand pulls that you cannot have to touch the hardware with. We have various different coatings. So we have continuously, for a long time, had our antimicrobial coating, which is our silver ion coating. That's been available for years and years. And we recently enhanced that offering with what we call our copper alloy coating. It's by Cuvero and it's by Arius Industries. So it's a nice copper additive that we add to a lot of our hardware that has been shown in numerous tests to inhibit even the virus side of things. So the antimicrobial is good for inhibiting bacteria, but this new copper alloy is good for the virus side of things. So still a lot more things out and about due to come in on how effective it is and everything. And then we're big in our touchless environment scenario. So along with our new mobile credential, we are utilizing that mobile credential tied in with access control, tied in with automatic operators to create a completely touchless environment, not have to touch anything. We've got, you know, numerous different automatic operators that are capable of integrating with access control as well. So, you know, it's the magnitude of what we've been through recently or whatever, we expect it to be around for a long time, and we are gearing various things up for that as well. You know, many people know that there's been considerable investments in trying to make restrooms and things like that completely touchless scenarios with, you know, you don't have to touch a soap dispenser, faucets, anything like that. So one of the things it seems has been lacking is a completely touchless opening. So we kind of feel like the doors are going to be a big part of that in the near future. So they've pretty much covered everything else, and they can put a foot pull on a door and everything, but it's pretty common when you get through washing your hands, you take the paper towels and you have to grab a handle. So we're excited about being able to integrate automatic operators with scanners, touchless actuators. We recently enhanced our line of touchless wireless actuators in some cases. Actually, touchless actuators, we haven't been able to pioneer the wireless part of it yet with batteries, but that's kind of along the lines of some of the things that we're doing and continuing research on a lot of things.
That's great. I know several months ago we shared with you an article out of the New England Journal of Medicine that talked about the benefits of copper, its efficacy on the virus. And just curious, does Allegion have sales support materials for the locksmith community to be able to share the effectiveness of your copper alloy product on the virus and how that may be beneficial?
We certainly do. We just created some cut sheets and data sheets on it. We kind of geared them toward healthcare and education and things like that. But we do have some 2-pagers and some 4-pagers that do have all the details and the specifics on the new copper alloy as well. So pricing on it currently with us is still it's a special deal right now. So we're working to try to make it a standard, kind of like we did on the antimicrobial. The antimicrobial is listed in our price books, but as far as the copper, we're working on it right now to make it a standard as in our price books as well. But yes, we do have data sheets out on that. They're brand new.
That's great. I know we've seen a lot of demand over the past months for touchless products, Wave products, and it's hard to keep them on the shelf at this point. I think it's been pretty broad, and
yeah, everybody, no one wants to touch the door. So,
I don't really want to touch anything anymore.
no.
So Lloyd, we just wanted to thank you again for being the platinum sponsor, Allegiant being the platinum sponsor for the event. We do believe, we had over 2,000 people register to attend today. Hopefully, most, if not all, made it for some portion of the show. Anything you would like to wrap from an Allegiant standpoint regarding all the different booths and discussions that we've had today?
We were pretty excited about what we were offering. I mean, we did talk about some healthy environments and things. We did, naturally, electronics is big on everyone's mind. Our biggest banner was the electronic side of things. And a rather unique thing that we had today, too, that we feel proud about is we had Lori Green. So she has a worldwide blog, idighardware.com. And we were really excited to have her on live discussions to talk about code issues, code questions, code-related things, and I think you'll see more and more of us utilizing her in the future as well. So we were kind of excited about that. We just constantly have a number of resources to support your division as well as your customers and things like that with our smartphone apps. Our smartphone apps will allow people in the field to be able to pull up just about any document they want, links to YouTube videos to show them how to do things, pull up installation instructions, user guides, manuals, templates, you name it. So between that and our websites, we can pretty much take care of just about anything they need.
That's terrific.
Yeah, I know you guys always have training going on, so thank you for all those resources.
Thank you guys, and we really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate your support. Thanks again, Lloyd.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
And at this point, we're gonna try and cut back to CS. Hopefully, the technical difficulties have been resolved.
Yeah.
Hey, and then we'll be back in a minute or two after your wise words. Yes.
Something's going to happen. We don't know what it's going to be. But while we're going to bring everybody back in here in a second, but just to let you guys know, we're done in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to leave the show open for a little while after we're all out of here for you all to talk to each other. And we're going to leave a few reps behind to answer any questions you have. Don't worry. You don't have to get all your questions answered today. Like I said, you have through October 2nd to make any purchases or ask any questions that you have. But we're going to bring Sean in from New York now to give us a parting word or two. Sean, are you there?
I'm here, CS. How are you? How's it been going?
It's going. Day's gone by fast. It's been a good day.
It really has flown by. I just spent some time going through as many booths as I could because I was a little busy most of the day. But, it was great to see a lot of interaction. Every booth I went in, there was, at least 15 people, in some cases up to 40 people. And a few people on camera, interacting. So it was really amazing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're going to bring our Houston crew back in to give us a parting word of wisdom.
Hey, everybody, this is Travis Howell. I just want to say thank you again and just say again, like I said at the very beginning, this whole project has been really fun to put together. It was a learning process for all of us, and we thank you all for being here. And I hope this was beneficial to everybody and that you guys had a good time and got to interact. Thank you so much, and I'm going to pass it off to Mark.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody that's been involved in putting the show together. First off, though, I want to thank all of our customers who joined today. As I mentioned, we had over 2,000 people register. I think at any point in time that I looked, We had at least 500 people attending the event at any given moment. We couldn't do this without you. We're here for you. This is why we do it. But I've got to thank Travis and team, everybody here in Houston, Oregon, New York. Sean, turn that mug around. I think.
There you go.
Hey,
Neil couldn't be here today, but he's here in spirit.
That's right. And certainly everybody in the Memphis and Jacksonville locations as well. We couldn't do it without all of you. We appreciate it. We were thrilled you were able to join us, and we appreciate all your support. Thanks to all the suppliers who were involved running the booths, and we look forward to talking to you further, whether it's after we sign off or on Monday. We're here for you, and we appreciate all you do for us. Thanks. Have a great day.
All right, and before we head out of here, guys, just want to let you know one reminder on the prize giveaway. It's going to be October 9th. Keep an eye out for an invitation via email to join us on October 9th for the live prize drawing. You do not have to be there to actually win. If you win a prize during the event, we will notify you after. Plus, the video will be made available in case anybody wants to watch it after the fact. You also have until October 2nd to get all your orders in to be eligible for prizes. As Mark was saying, thank you so much to our manufacturers. We couldn't do it without your support. Thank you to our staff, especially a big shout out to Travis. He bore the brunt of this. Thank you all for attending and making this worthwhile. And from everybody at International Key Supply, HL Flake, McDonald Dash, and H.E. Mitchell, we think we're better together. Take care.
Drums echo in the night. She only hears the whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. Moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me toward salvation. I stopped an old man along the way to find some old forgotten words, some ancient melody. He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, just waiting there for you. Gonna take a life to drive me away from you. There's nothing that a good man or more could ever do. I bless the rain down that love. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Wild dogs cry out in the night. Simple restless long for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, as sure as Kilimanjaro rises like the windows of the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become.